There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night. What happened? Everything got updated. All the audio things, OBS, loopback, operating system, all updated. So, hello, everybody. And I even started the older intro. So anyway, how are you all doing tonight? I am reviewing some of the responses that flat earthers have had to the final experiment. I've not said a lot. Creaky, I love Creaky stuff. He's just drilling them on the final experiment because they are freaking out. I love watching them freak out. So I'm going to cover some of their responses to that I've seen to this experiment. Now, one of the most common claims that they make is they like to claim that it's not an experiment. Of course, it is an experiment. And why is it an experiment? Well, I'll cover that a little bit. Let's see. I'll start with this. Hold on. I got a book. Where'd it go? There it is. I got a stack of books on the floor. So, all right. Karl Popper, The Logic of Scientific Discovery, chapters 3 and 4. Now, Popper is pretty aggressive on application of his ideas, and when you bring them all the way to the end, they're a bit much. But Popper, more than anybody else, really nailed the essence of a scientific experiment, and that's testing a falsifiable claim, falsifiable hypothesis. That's the big thing. And so what you see when flat earthers, they're like, it's not an experiment, it's just an observation. No, it's an experiment. It's an experiment because you can test a falsifiable hypothesis. So what is the hypothesis? Well, that would be, you would make a prediction of what the sun will do in Antarctica for if the Earth were flat, and the same if the Earth were a globe. Now, if you didn't get it, the final experiment is where a group of flat earthers and a group of globers, or normal people, go to Antarctica when the 24-hour sun is supposed to be showing and see if there is a 24-hour sun. So so then you make a hypothesis. If the Earth is a globe, then, and it's tilted at 23.5 degrees, then between the days of December 14 and December 18 at about 80 degrees south latitude, the globe predicts that the sun will be up all day and it will do circles over your head. And if the Earth is flat, then, well, here's the problem. Flat earthers actually cannot make predictions. No flat earthers make predictions for flat Earth. You're not doing science if you're not making a prediction. For all of flat earthers talk about trying to pretend as if they are the gatekeeper of science, the flat earthers think that they can be the ones that say, that's an experiment, that's not an experiment, this is how you do science, that's not how you do science. They don't actually do science for flat Earth. You need to make a prediction. Why don't you make a prediction? Well, we know why they won't make a prediction. That's because anytime anybody makes a prediction using flat Earth, it's instantly falsified. It's super easy to falsify. So they don't want to do it because they know it will get trashed instantly. So they won't. So what is the flat Earth prediction for what you will see in Antarctica? Well, applying the geometry of flat Earth, the real geometry of flat Earth, the sun could never set. The fact that the sun sets anytime, anywhere, is proof that the Earth is not flat. It completely falsifies flat Earth. 8 billion people a day falsify flat Earth because they experience the sunset. That's a lot of falsification, people. And is it an experiment? It certainly is. What's the prediction? The prediction is that the sun will set. the ancient cultures that they like to talk about, they thought that the sun went down for everybody simultaneously. They have different explanations. It goes underneath a tunnel. It rides a chariot through the tunnel. That's in the book of Enoch that the biblical flat earthers like to look at. What chariot? There's no chariot. It goes through a portal. Where's the portal? There's no portal. Everybody doesn't experience night simultaneously because it doesn't go underneath. Whatever. So now modern flat earthers have departed from the biblical or Hebrew or ancient Near Eastern cosmology, and they claim that the sun is over the dirt pizza the whole time, and that somehow magically no actual real process provided. You can't see it. Why can't you see it? Make up stuff. That's all they got. So what is their prediction? Well, their prediction is the sun sets. They don't know why. They don't know what direction. They don't know what time, right? Everything for the sun angle, the sunset time, we can predict all that using the globe. So Null says, have you looked at Veritas's 8-hour-long flat earth obliteration video? It's super well made and features you. I assume I have. In that case, what are your thoughts? I loved it. It's a great video. I really loved it. It's super, super good. If you haven't watched it, people, you better get to it. Say thanks to Veritas because he did a fantastic job. It is so much flat earth butthurt in there. It's wonderful. Anyway, so the flat earthers make the prediction that the sun will set. And they've been making that prediction for almost 10 years. Eric Dubay, his first flat earth video was November 2014. So we're just a couple months away from Eric Dubay's 10 years of lying on the internet. Well, he's been lying for longer than that because he's been into insane nuttery for longer than flat earth. But almost since the beginning, flat earthers have all said that the sun doesn't set. That's their claim. There's been a couple outliers here and there that have said that. But now that flat earthers are going to go to Antarctica, or, well, at least hopefully some will, and if they don't, take a free trip to Antarctica, well, that tells us a whole lot, doesn't it? It tells us all we need to know. I'm drinking from the Colorado mug that I got when I visited Will Duffy, who is the guy putting on the final experiment, the guy that's offering to pay for Flat Earther to go to Antarctica. I got this on the trip when I went out to California. Colorado. I have seen Jaron's response. Jaron is on fire. I am really liking Jaron's response to this because he is actually following evidence. So he is doing what the rest of them should be doing. He's saying, well, we've been saying this for years. We shouldn't now be instantly changing our tune. So he has been polling flat earthers saying, okay, it's unclear to them yet. I mean, we know what the sun will do, but whatever. They are saying it's unclear to them what the sun will do in Antarctica. Okay, so maybe it will do what the flat earth needs it to do, and maybe it won't. He's being open to that and say, look, here are the things that might happen. So if the sun does do circles overhead, what is the explanation for flat earth? And he has been saying there is no explanation. Flat earth doesn't have an explanation for it, and he's correct. He's had some people offer him proposals, but they don't work. He had Lindsay Harris on. I reviewed Lindsay Harris's claims a week ago about, it was last Thursday, about how he thinks the sun could do the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. It makes no sense at all. It all rests on Lindsay's claim that magnetism bends light. Here is a neodymium magnet. As you can see, you don't see a very weird warping of light as it goes past the magnet. That's because magnetism does not bend light. And so then another guy, Joe Hanvey, on Facebook. I'm going to cover some of his videos here in a minute. Joe Hanvey has tried and has falsified flat Earth in every one of them. But I got off track. I want to finish explaining why this is an experiment. Back to Karl Popper and the testing of a falsifiable hypothesis. So let me see here. I want to get the guy's name correct. In the 1800s, August Kekulé. I don't know if that's his name for pronunciation for sure. Let's see, K. Calais. August K. Calais. At least that's the Wikipedia pronunciation guide. So he was a chemist, and in the 1850s, right around the 1850s, they were trying to figure out the molecular structure of benzene. Benzene, they knew at the time, was 6 carbons. But they did not know what its structure was. Was it 6 carbons in a line? Were they doing a zigzag? Was there a hook at the end, like a small, like 4 of them at the end with 2 sticking out, like a note, or what was? Nobody knew yet at the time. They hadn't figured it out. And so he was thinking about it one day at his house, sitting in front of the fire, and he fell asleep. Or he was kind of in a daydream state, and he dreamt about a snake eating its tail. And when the snake was eating its tail, that forms a circle. When he woke up from this daydream, he's like, what if benzene is in a circle? Well, what if? It's a good question. So back at the lab, they devised methods to test whether or not it was in that shape. They tested it and discovered it was in that shape. So was that an experiment? Yes, it was. Now, flat earthers will like to take the middle school version of how to do an experiment from a website. Literally, this is not a joke. The website for how to do your middle school science fair project. Use the scientific method. And then there's this scientific method listed out, which is a great thing for somebody that's never done science before. I don't know what to do. Well, here you go. Do this. Step 1. What is the naturally observed phenomenon? And then, I don't know all of the rigorous dogmatic steps offhand. It doesn't matter because that's not how science is done. But it's, they take this thing, form a hypothesis. From that, you need your independent and dependent variables, and then you have to do the experiment. The experiment has to have independent variables that the experimenter has to manipulate themselves. And then you draw the conclusions, and then you report your results, things like that. So what they like to do is they like to go to the beginning, like, well, what was the naturally observed phenomenon? Well, what was the naturally observed phenomenon for K. Calais? Nothing. He didn't have one. He had a dream. What was the hypothesis? The hypothesis that came from the dream was that benzene was in a ring. What was the independent variable? There was no independent variable. What was the dependent variable? There was no dependent variable. All they needed to do to make an experiment was test the hypothesis. The hypothesis being benzene is in a ring. Whatever they did to test it, they tested it and discovered it was in a ring. So they did not do all of this dogmatic stuff that flat earthers like to think is a necessary part of science, of doing an experiment. It's not. So I'm going to go right here to PhD Tony, because this is on point. He says, having made no predictions, flat earthers say all observations agree with what their predictions would have been. Reality is their model, not understanding what models are or how they are tested. Perfectly stated, Tony. Absolutely perfectly stated. You can't do an experiment if you can't make a prediction. Right? That's the hypothesis. That's the thing you're trying to falsify. Right? Here's the hypothesis, the model. You can't have a hypothesis or a prediction without a model, no matter what it is. What was the model for Kukle? K-Kale. Let me make sure. K-Kale. What was the model? The model was benzenes in a circle. That's his model. And what's the hypothesis? That benzenes in a circle is really simple, right? This is a pretty basic experiment. And what was how did they test it? I don't know exactly the details of how they tested it, but they tested it. And they confirmed it. True, false. Super. This was an observational or a qualitative experiment, which is perfectly fine. And you can make quantitative experiments, ones where you predict a specific number. Let me read this other one from Pepe Silva in the chat. Says, watching the Flerfs turn on each other has been delicious to watch. Love it. Yes. Yeah, Eric Dubé. After having spent pretty much 10 years saying that the sun never sets, is now saying, oh, it doesn't matter. He has actually made videos where he's claimed, incorrectly, he's claimed that the 24-hour sun in the north is somehow, I don't know how, he thinks it's proof of flat Earth. I don't know how it could be because it's predicted on the globe. Right? You can't say it proves flat Earth if that's completely in line with the globe. Right? The one place where the sun does not set, the one place where sun does what flat Earth actually predicts is the North Pole, between in the Arctic Circle, depending on the time of year. You got 6 whole months at the actual North Pole, and less time in between there. Oh, we got a guy whose name is creatively Flat Earth. And you don't need to time him out for that, but Flat Earth thinks that if I'm a Christian that I have to share my testimony. You tell you what, you don't. It's not my thing here. But I'm certain that you have on your channel. Let's have a look. Let's go to your channel. Have done as you think. Let's see if you've done that. Just a second. I'm getting it here. I mean, certainly you would not be a hypocrite, and certainly you would not be not sharing your testimony on your channel, right? Because that's your metric. That's what you think is necessary. So let's just have a look to see if you are a hypocrite or not. So just a second here. Man, I don't know. It's not looking good for you, Chuckles. It's not looking good for you. One thing that's always interesting is how hypocritical flat earthers are. They, they're like that. They cry demanding that we present curve. We prove the curve, and we do, and then they just reject it. Okay, well here's his channel. Oh no, he's a hypocrite. No surprise there that you're a hypocrite, Flat Earth. You're expecting that I have to do something that you haven't even held yourself to that same standard. Ooh, my voice has cut off a couple times. Yeah, his channel is empty just like his head. There it is. So, yeah, all right, my voice is cut out. Yeah, so like I said, I've updated the operating system, I've updated OBS, and I've updated Loopback. Loopback is what routes all the audio. And yeah, it's new. The newest version is not doing well. So unfortunately, that's where I'm at. Okay. Where was I? Well, okay. Here's where I am. Let's see. I'm going to. So we're going to show Joe Hanley's stuff. So who's Joe Hanley? Well, Joe is a Flerf, and I did a post a couple days ago on did a post a couple days ago on Joe Hanley because because Joe had posted some nonsense about flat Earth, of course, and about the final experiment, and Will Duffy had commented on there, and Joe had deleted Will's comments. Like a super strong, bold believer in what he stands for, he could not take the criticism. He couldn't take the challenge. So he deleted the comments. So I did a post on Facebook about it. So let's see here. Now, it seems the post that he did this on is no more, but don't worry, I've got the video. So the funny thing is that he's like, this proves that it works for flat Earth. And what do all of the Flerfs do in the comments of his post there? They all just eat it up. They're like, oh, this is totally it. I totally buy. Oh my goodness, you totally. God's beautiful flat Earth. Do do do. But he totally got it wrong. He totally got it wrong. No surprise that he got it wrong. Flat Earthers can't get anything right. So I have right the video. So let's oh, I gotta put it over the wrong window. Okay, this is it. Now this is the you'll notice this is a usually these are acrylic, which is a hard plastic that has a very particular index of refraction. I think it's depending on it, it's between 1.5 and or more. Now air is right around 1.0, just a tiny bit above 1.0, and a vacuum is 1.0. That's the definition of an index of refraction. Vacuum is 0. So here is now the audio. No doubt will be not working immediately. Let's see.
This is just for you. I'm going to show you that the large dome is in place and the small dome represents our vision of the sky.
Now, just for reference, you hear that, right? Your vision of the sky is nothing to do with like dome over us, right? Above us, even on flat Earth, above us is air. And above that is less air, and above that is less air. And then within 60 miles or 100 kilometers, there's very close to no air. And all of the flat Earth claims about how high the sun are either you got in the clouds, which is ridiculous. Anybody claims the sun is in the clouds, they're just seriously mentally handicapped. Because if the sun was, because that's about 10 miles up. So if the sun was there, then it would be ripping through the clouds at 1,000 miles an hour. You'd hear sonic booms, and you wouldn't ever be able to just look at it and say, oh, there's the sun. It would be moving 1,000 miles an hour. Also, if it were only 10 miles high, then over the equator in Minnesota here, where I'm 3,000 miles away from it, if it's only 10 miles high, it would be right on the horizon at the highest point. You'd never see it. It'd just be a glow. Even if the Earth were flat, according to them, it wouldn't work. You wouldn't see it. So when you actually do measurements, assuming flat Earth, hypothesizing flat Earth, you get somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 miles up. So you can't say that the sun is somehow that low. It doesn't work. There's nothing to support that. So you've got 60 miles of air, and then the rest of it of just about no air. So for the most part, there's nothing. So when you have this acrylic dome here, this is just showing their desperation. They're absolutely lying to people. There's no reason to think that something like that would happen, because there's nothing that would cause that to happen. There's no optics supporting that. Gina Forrest says, I'm currently researching and writing a paper on viable options, speed, propulsion methods on how to get to the moon and Mars. How am I supposed to get past the dome? Well, depending on different flat earthers, some say they're inside the dome, some say they're outside the dome. Okay. Anyway, well, this idiot, and I'm this guy's an idiot. I'm not pulling any punches here. He is an absolute idiot. This isn't Joe Hanvey. This is Red Dawn, who sent this. I don't know. I'm not certain. I don't care. Whoever did it is an idiot. Put a plastic dome over the whole dirt pizza with a secondary dome inside of it, and he's claiming somehow that magically light would behave like this. For why? Don't know. No reason. But anyway, so this is the typical lie that flat earthers have to do. Hey, Patrick Butler is not a real Flerf. Don't buy it. He's a good guy. I like him. He's a friend. He's not a real Flerf. Don't, seriously. You can't say light and magnetism have molecules. Molecules don't exist. That's why we can't see them with our own eyes. See, he's just joking, guys. Don't get riled up by him. Okay, let's get back to this dumb video.
So, gonna do it and show how the 24-hour sun in Antarctica is absolutely possible on the flat Earth with the celestial dome and the way we view the sky as a concave sky.
No, we don't view the sky as a concave sky. There's nothing about it that makes the sky a concave sky.
So here we go. Gonna be moving the light around the top of the celestial dome.
Okay, so now you're noticing right away, I'm noticing right away that this guy, this is the fourth law of Flerf, that any Flerf contradicts some other Flerf explanation. So all the flat earthers that say that the sun is in the clouds, this guy disagrees. All the flat earthers that have the video of the sun inside the dome doing magical circles around it, and then the dome being farther up, he contradicts that. Right? There isn't a single model that explains more than 2 or 3 things. And they never actually explain any of them. They just give a very vague and rough idea for gullible idiots to believe.
The path of the Tropic of Capricorn, and what you're going to see is in the glass dome, you're going to see the sun make a 24-hour circle in Antarctica below South America. Which is, I believe, where the final experiment is going to take place. So if they're far enough south, they could very possibly see a 24-hour sun, which does not refute the flat Earth, because we can absolutely demonstrate it right here live.
Yeah, spoiler, they don't.
So if I can demonstrate it live with the model and the map, then it's not a refutation of a flat Earth. It's possible on the flat Earth. I don't care whether it happens or not. I think we probably don't see a full 24-hour sun unless we go far enough south, and yeah, we probably would, based off of these assumptions, which the flat Earth makes these assumptions, period. Now, whether people understood that or not, because they haven't dug deep enough, it doesn't matter. But
haven't dug deep enough. Notice, as Glober Mom said, his flashlight is above the dirt pizza there, and all of is illuminated. You absolute moron. You've already falsified flat Earth here, idiot. Seriously, flat earthers, you're stupid. You are stupid. Look at this. That flashlight illuminates all of Earth at the same time. How can you actually be this dumb? You're so focused on the one thing that you don't see that a bunch of other stuff destroys your stupid idea.
Towards you, Wendy, but you asked for me to do this, so...
Oh yeah, Wendy B. Level requested this. Wendy B. Level is a religiflerf, a absolutely horrible person, disgusting monster, as are all religiflerfs, and lots of lies come out of Wendy B. Level.
Gonna zoom in now onto the small dome, and I'm gonna move.
Why are there 2 domes? Why are there 2 domes? This is stupid. But okay, now pay attention to the path that the sun takes. All right.
the sun. See, look at that. See the sun inside that dome? I'm following the Tropic of Capricorn. Now this way, you're gonna get a lot more reflection because obviously it's not to scale and perfect here, but you can see how...
Now pay attention. You've got on the right side the larger view of the sun. That's the one paper underneath. And then a little bit to the left and a tiny bit up, that's the reflection off the top of that dome, which doesn't exist in reality. And so this, that is showing us how he's moving the flashlight over the bigger dome. And he's moving it correctly, moving it clockwise over the dirt pizza. And look what it's doing to the, but pay close attention to the one that's hitting the paper. The direction is moving.
It's perfectly mimicked by the concave view that we view the sky with. Because of the celestial dome and the way we view the sky, you could very possibly get a 24-hour sun circling the horizon in Antarctica. It's not impossible on a flat Earth. I've just proven it's not impossible. So the final experiment, which is not an experiment, it's an observation.
It is an experiment, as I already said,
that has set out to debunk flat Earth with this 24-hour sun observation has already failed. Before it even starts, it's already failed because we can clearly demonstrate how it happens. So whether it happens or not, I'm actually excited to see whether it happens or not.
Clearly demonstrate.
So more power to them for going, but it's not proof that we live on a globe. All the evidence points to we live on a flat surface.
Okay, so now if you noticed it, if you were standing on the paper there in this non-existent hard, which has an index of refraction of 1.5 or more, not 1.0, so completely not even applicable to begin with. Number one. Number two, it would be a reflection, which you could see if you were there, because you can see sunspots on the sun, and if they're reflected, mirrored, you can see that. So that's one of the things that can be tested. But the biggest problem is that if you're standing there, the sun was moving clockwise, moving from left to right. All right, watch this. Look at that. See, if you're standing there on the surface, I mean, it's not doing circles. It's doing weird patterns around you, but it's moving left to right. If you're, here's due south. So put yourself somewhere like due north of it, right? And it's moving to the right. To the right, moving to the right as we go forward in time. But what does the sun actually do in Antarctica? Well, who knows what it might possibly do in Antarctica. Now, just for reference, it's loading for a little slowly here. For reference, the comments of that video, people were praising him. Praise Jesus, we finally got it. But oops, it's going the other direction. It goes right to left. This is what you see in Antarctica. This is a real time-lapse, 5-day time-lapse in Antarctica. The thing that the flat earthers say doesn't even exist yet. Somehow, there it is right here. His demonstration that all of, and the post is gone, as far as I can tell. Maybe it's still there, but I couldn't find it before this video. They were all saying, praise Jesus. He done cracked the code, but it was backwards. So what did he do today? Well, what he did today was he posted this one. This is great. This is fantastic. Here's his video today. So this is genocide. Nice. Joe Hanvey on Facebook. If you go to my page on Facebook, you'll see me post. One of my recent ones is a post to him. So, thank you. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to issue a formal apology to everyone I interacted with yesterday, my demonstration was wrong. It was incorrect because the sun in the demonstration was moving in a clockwise circuit.
Oh dear.
The smaller dome that represents our field of view.
He was so certain.
It was moving in a clockwise circuit, whereas what we observed is a counterclockwise circuit that far south. So that's why the globe proponents proposed that it would be a falsifier for the flat Earth is because of that clockwise circuit. So to Jaron from Jaronism, I apologize. I'm sorry.
So to their credit, both thank you. I got a top off on that. To their credit, I was surprised by this. Dave Weiss commented on that on the video yesterday, saying it's going in the wrong direction, and Jaron responded in the same thread to Dave Weiss and said, "Yep, it's going in the wrong direction." And he argued it yesterday, and then today he's stopped arguing it. They're so confident that they just do this tiniest little bit of nothing, just this tiny bit, right? Let's cover it. What is the process that flat earthers use when they think they're doing science? Well, they start with their conclusion, then they desperately search for things that they think maybe, possibly, but not really, support their pre-selected conclusion. And then once they find that, skip everything else and declare that they have undeniably proven their pre-selected conclusion. That's what he did. That's what he did yesterday. He was so confident.
I'm sorry. To Dave Weiss, I apologize. I'm sorry. To everyone else I interacted with, flat earthers and globers, I apologize for the flawed demonstration, the incorrect demonstration. My mind just wasn't reading it right, and I didn't have all of it worked out in my head. I should not have rushed to post it, and I apologize for that. So what I will say, though, is I figured it out. I did figure it out. And the reason is because of optics. All right, so the glass dome is not...
Optics. So let's be clear. What optics is he talking about in reality? None. What optics is he talking about? Yeah, there's actually things with optics in there, but in reality, there's no actual physical dome. There's no actual, like, doing what he says it does, the little acrylic thing, and there's nothing that would cause light to refract or reflect as it must in order for it to work. None of that optics is there. So here he is getting up on his high horse again, claiming optics, claiming science, but providing nothing in reality that has these things.
Not the way our eyes see the sky. We see the sky as a concave dome, yes, so our eyes do create a field of view sky dome relative to our position on the plane. However, because it's our eyes and we're looking into the concave sky, and we're seeing a concave sky dome from our eyes, so it's like we're looking through a small dome into the larger dome. And that's what creates the effect. However, I'm playing with Legos. So the glass prism that I'm...
What causes the effect? This is the stink of desperation here. What causes the effect? Our eyes? No, our eyes don't cause the concave view of the sky. We don't have a concave view of the sky. Those things don't cause light to reflect or refract as it must do, according to your claims here with that acrylic dome that you put in place.
To represent our visual eye sky dome is creating a mirrored effect.
No, it's not.
Once I adjust to correct for that mirrored effect, you get the counterclockwise rotation. So I'm going to show that in the two video clips coming up. The first video is going to be how it was done last night and the incorrect clockwise motion. The second video is going to be where I have corrected for the mirrored effect created by the solid glass dome
the solid glass dome that does not exist in reality. This is how sick flat earthers are. They will watch this and say, oh, praise. It's not there. There's nothing there, idiots. You are liars, all of you, if you buy this. You're just gobbling up a lie.
Would not have. Everything else about it, our eyes would see, because we're seeing from our perspective, a small sky dome relative to our position on the plane inside of the larger dome of the realm. So all the other parts of the optics works. It just gets rid of that mirrored effect, which affects the visual rotation in the camera and to our perspective from the outside looking in. So once I correct for that, you get the counterclockwise motion, and therefore we still falsify the claim that a 24-hour sun is impossible in Antarctica. Whether it happens or not, I don't.
You don't, because you did not provide any explanation for how the light would do this in reality.
No, I don't care. I'm interested to see actual footage from a group of people that have decided to go down there and actually film this for the first time from both sides of the aisle, the globe aisle and the flat earth aisle. So I'm very interested to see y'all's results. I'm glad y'all are going. However, you're not going to falsify the flat earth. You can't do it. Looking at lights in the ceiling.
It's trivial to falsify flat earth. The measured curve of the surface of the earth that you're about to reject that exists
does not determine the shape of the floor beneath you. That's not scientific. It's not logical. It's just silly.
It is actually scientific and logical. If you can make a prediction based on the model, and you can test it for falsification or confirmation, that's how you do it. Just rejecting things in the sky doesn't mean that things in the sky can't falsify or confirm your model.
In the ceiling and say, oh, the floor must be a sphere is just ridiculous. We can measure the floor. We can't measure the ceiling. We can't measure the lights in the ceiling. Never have been able to, never will be able to. We can measure the...
Flat earthers, look, flat earthers, you can't. You're not smart enough. No flat earther is smart enough to measure the lights in the sky. We get it. But smart people can. We can measure the distance to the moon. Bounce radio waves off of it. Time how long it takes. Same for the sun. Same for Venus. Right? All perfectly fine ways to measure the distance to it.
Water remains level. The second law of thermodynamics, we have to have an enclosure. We can't just be a pressurized gaseous atmosphere next to a near perfect vacuum.
Why not?
So, and I could go on and on and on. The evidence is overwhelming that the surface of Earth is topographical, but overall level. And looking at the lights in the ceiling doesn't prove anything. I was wrong yesterday. I admit that. I'm apologizing. But I did figure it out. It is all based in optics, which is the study of light and how light acts. And it's all viable. So these next two videos are going to show that. Once you get rid of the mirrored effect, you get the counterclockwise rotation. So the 24-hour sun is possible within the assumptions of the flat Earth model. Now what I'm going to show you is the same thing as yesterday.
All right, now I want you to pay attention to the 75 written on the paper there.
Moving the light around the Tropic of Capricorn. And because the glass prism, the glass dome representing our field of view.
Okay, so this is the yesterday demo done again.
From the surface is creating a mirror effect. So the light appears to be mirrored, meaning it's moving opposite to where it would actually move if we were standing on the surface to scale, shrunk ourselves down to scale in this model, instead of dead center of where this glass dome is. Our vision would not create that mirrored effect. The glass dome does, especially from this point of view. But when
now you can, if you look at the small reflection closer to the top of the screen, you can see that he is moving the flashlight around the upper dome, the second dome. Why are there two domes? No idea. Again here, so pay attention to that particular reflection
of where this glass dome is. Our vision would
see
not
where it's
create
getting
that mirror
farther
effect.
away.
The glass dome does,
right? And so it's on the far side of the dirt pizza, and now it's coming
from
closer.
this point of view. But when I reverse that mirroring effect caused by the glass dome that our eyes would not cause, now our eyes would cause all the other phenomena.
Why would our eyes cause that? Our eyes don't cause mirroring effects. This is how stupid flat earthers are. Again, the comments of this video on Facebook, flat earthers are again saying the same ones as yesterday who are like, praise Jesus, you found it. They're now saying the same stupid thing again, even though yesterday he was wrong. Now today they think he's right, but he's not. You'll see in a second.
Because our eyes aren't solid glass, and the sky dome view that we're having isn't solid glass, and it's not. We're looking into the atmosphere, so we don't have this huge amount of reflection going on, but we would still have we
don't have any reflection going on. There's nothing there to cause this reflection that you have to have.
Effects of the dome sky that our eyes see. So it's mirrored right now. When I undo that mirroring, you do get the counterclockwise, which I'm about to do here right now. So this is without correcting for the mirroring effect caused by the glass dome that represents the sky dome that our eyes see.
Now, how he's about to show how he fixed it. How did he fix it? This is insane.
Now this video is after I have corrected for that mirror effect, and you can clearly see that you get that counterclockwise rotation. Therefore, proof of concept still exists for the Antarctic 24-hour sun within the flat Earth model.
Wow, the path that the sun takes now matches reality this way, right? Seriously, this is so desperate. All right, it matches, but look at the 75. All he did was mirror the video. He mirrored the video to make it work. But now look at he's not showing it, but we can see it because it's reflecting off the top of his acrylic dome. Yes, look at the direction that it now makes the flashlight move. Just the wrong way.
Looking at the lights in the ceiling to determine the shape of the floor.
In order to do it,
it's not scientific, it's not logical.
This
Everything I
idiot
posed at this point is scientific and based in optics.
This idiot, in order to do that, he reversed the whole video, which of course means that rather than moving clockwise around the dirt pizza, it's now moving counter dirt pizza. So how did he fix it? He moved the sun the opposite direction. What an absolute loser.
By these prisms, whether they're hemispherical, convex, concave, prism, light splitters, concave mirrors, convex mirrors, and play around with optics, you would learn this. I just didn't catch it yesterday. Wasn't thinking properly. I was so excited and let my excitement have me acting out of reaction instead of critical thought. Once I thought about it, I realized and remembered that this glass prism, because of optics, the way light works within it, is causing a mirrored effect. And if I correct that mirrored effect that our eyeballs would not have, then we get that counterclockwise rotation. So hopefully this clears it up. The final experiment will not falsify flat Earth. Not an experiment, it's an observation, but it will not falsify flat Earth. Again, I apologize for yesterday to everyone, which I've already done, but I'll do it again. Like I said, not afraid to be wrong, but I'm not going to give up either because I understand that the floor is measured level. It's not a curved surface. It's not a sphere. And looking at the lights in the ceiling don't prove anything as far as the surface that we stand on.
So, yep, he is that dumb. He is truly that dumb. Now that wasn't enough. I'll show you here. Here is the I'm gonna share a different so I have to be logged in to see this. So let's see. All right. Here is the actual Facebook post for that one there. Right? And all comments. He tagged a bunch of people. Will comes in, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you know, let's see some of the praise he's got for that. Yeah, Lindsay Ball says, why do you need Will Bloke's approval? He's just shill in Satan's little season panto. Yes, this typical flat earthers, they think that the guy lying, Joe Hanvey, is on the side of good, and that everybody that disagrees with him is doing the work of Satan. Right? Good job, Lindsay Ball, except that your guy is lying. Anyway, it doesn't actually, it doesn't help. So, let's see. So Chris Cooper says, excellent work. Love seeing your trial and error process. That's a good thing to see and improve more and more. Really impressed with these live demos. Well, except it didn't work. So, yeah, all right, let's see. But that wasn't the end of it. Oh, no. Here he shows this one. I'll get this. He triples down. He triples down. I'll play it here. Let's see here.
Now, I'm going to try to get through this quick and make it short. You can see the celestial dome. I've gotten rid of the small dome because there was a lot of debate about that. So it's gone. All I need is the large dome over the flat earth map. This is the Gleason.
Yeah, this is attempt number 3. He got rid of the small dome, which doesn't exist in reality, and he is going for just the big dome, which also doesn't exist. But now he thinks he's nailed it.
Do not believe any map is 100% accurate, so you can argue that all you want.
Well, except for the map that they use for long-range navigation. That's got to be pretty accurate. Somehow thousands of flights every day are able to get where... How does that work? They don't use the flat earth map. They use some map. Whatever map they use is accurate. Oh. All right, let me just a second. I changed, man. I gotta get this. All right, there we go. Okay.
Now, I'm going to try to get through this quick and make it short. You can see the celestial dome. I've gotten rid of the small dome because there was a lot of debate about that. So it's gone. All I need is the large dome over the flat earth map. This is the Gleason's map. I do not believe any map is 100% accurate. So you can argue that all you want. Has nothing to do with what's happening. Has nothing to do with this demonstration. This demonstration is about showing a counterclockwise southern facing Antarctic sun. So right here is South America, the tip of South America. This is going to be the portion of the sky right here that I have this other camera focused on. I'm going to put that other camera inside the dome, focus on this portion.
Yeah, he's going to put an actual phone inside the dome. This is great.
Of the sky. And when I move this light around the Tropic of Capricorn, east to west, you're going to see a counterclockwise motion here because there isn't a...
He said, you're gonna see a counterclockwise motion here.
Apparent view of the sun to everyone. Everybody has an apparent view, not an actual physical view. It's always apparent. So it's all about perspective and the celestial dome that causes the phenomenon. It is absolutely possible in the flat earth model. This will prove it. This is repeatable. Anybody can repeat it. So I encourage you, get a dome, get a map, set up some cameras, get a flashlight, do it yourself. Obviously, if I could get the flashlight inside the dome, it would be even better because you're going to see more of a night zone and a day zone.
Oh, so he wants the light inside. Why would he want the light inside? It makes a difference because outside then the dome affects it because there actually is optics, right? They claim there is a big single dome. They don't actually claim that there's a secondary mini physical dome. Whatever.
Unfortunately, I only have 2 hands and I'm trying to get it done. But at some point I'll get the light inside of there and I'll make it happen from the inside just so you can see it that way too. But this is just beautiful because it's repeatable. Anybody can do it. Now what I'm going to do...
No, I'm going to trust his action. I don't need to repeat. I totally trust his. I'll accept this one.
...is get
this camera right here set up on the inside, facing where I want it to face. First, let me kind of zoom in just a touch.
Yep, get that phone inside. This is good. This is so dumb. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love how stupid he is.
So she's based on that portion of the sky.
All right, so he said, what direction did he say it was gonna go?
Now I'm gonna move the light around the Tropic of the Tropic of Capricorn, east to west.
Okay, you can see on the screen on the phone, but wait, he zooms in.
Counterclockwise, east to west sun in the southern part of the celestial dome based off of perspective. I've already shown the video, but I said that I would do a video like this so everybody could see what I'm doing, and here you go. This is it.
All right, you don't need to worry because this is part one where he's showing what he's doing, and then we're gonna clip to the video from the phone in a second. The camera that was inside the dome, and it's going to be doing what he says, counterclockwise. He says,
absolutely works. It completely gets rid of the so-called 24-hour counterclockwise sun being a falsifier for the flat Earth, as I am clearly demonstrating it is possible.
Also, yeah, just for reference, there's no nighttime anywhere on flat Earth. He's just demonstrated that. Nighttime is impossible on flat Earth.
I'm clearly demonstrating it is possible.
All right, so this is the this is the phone inside the dome that he said is going to be doing his movement. It's not matching. It's not matching. You idiots. It's not matching. Let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. Oh, hold on. All right. So we got to review. This is what we actually see. The sun low in the sky, doing circles where you see it due south. Right? Due south. You see it go due south. Watch this. This is so great. You don't see it go due south. This is so stupid. It's not. What an idiot. This is actually what I've said was the actual flat Earth prediction. That, right? I've shown it before. It's what a moron. I commented on that post. You idiot. I didn't say idiot, but I commented on the post that it doesn't work. I said, yeah, Flerf gets it wrong again. Flerfs always fail. Cover your repeated failures tonight. Yeah, let me. He's so. Flat Earthers are so dumb and desperate. They can't. I've watched this before. All right, where'd it go? All right. There it is. I go. Flerf gets it wrong again. Flerfs always fail. Or cover your repeated failures tonight. And David Foster, I have no idea who he is. He thinks that I'm the one that's made an ass of myself. Well, sorry, Flat Earthers. You guys are making asses of yourself. Now, Joe Hanvey again. Now, he comes in with a blatant lie. So this is a good one. This is a good one. I will play this. I don't know if the audio's going to go through or not. I'll try. I'll see if this comes through, and then I'll show how this Joe Hanvey is a pathological liar. Everybody that pretends to be a Christian flat earther that then supports this kind of stuff is well, the lies don't fit with the whole being a good person and following the Bible thing. So if you're doing triangulation, you do a triangle on the surface of flat Earth. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation. It's about it's about the distance. And now you can tell that this video is chopped up to pieces. About the angle to the GP. So you can draw it on your chart, draw a line there, and then you do it for all three, and you get your intersection. So it is actually triangulation. You can draw a triangle. So all that, remember, all this is chopped up. I'll play the unchopped version in a second here of the triangle and know the angle. And so we can do triangulation, but we have to presume that the Earth is flat. But if you're doing triangulation, you do a triangle on the surface of flat Earth, presuming flat Earth, you get then I don't know. So they cut it off there. So let me play the uncut version. So this is a conversation I had with Brian Leakey. And Brian Leakey and I was going over, because flat earthers don't even understand how navigation would work for flat Earth. So I was going over how he needs to do celestial navigation for flat Earth. And so you can see the different color tint here shows the different part, whether or not it was included in the mangled version of it that they had to do in order to lie.
When Mitchell from Australia and Mr. Sensible were going back and forth, they kind of both had a point, because it seems like there's you could do it using both methods. Would you agree with that?
No. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation. It's trilateration. And so I don't know where you might use triangulation, because in normal celestial navigation, maybe with other there's dead reckoning techniques that might do it for you, but not with celestial navigation. The site reduction tables get you the ability to draw a line of position on your chart. Basically.
That's what I said first.
It's about the distance and about the angle to the GP. So you can draw it on your chart, draw a line there, and then you do it for all three, and you get your intersection. So the site reduction. So the all three is referring to three different circles, but he is taking it as three different angles of a triangle. On the radius of the Earth, it's one of the factors that goes into the calculation tables. Perspective is something that's easy to calculate. It is actually triangulation. You can draw a triangle, solve the triangle, and know the angle that the light or that the object must appear to be. And so we can do triangulation, but we can even do it without any math on this. Let me show you.
Comparing them to a globe, right?
No, this is just trigonometry. It has nothing to do with the globe.
Well, you got to have a baseline to measure it by.
Do you notice that this is for flat Earth? Do you notice right here? This is flat Earth. I'm doing this for flat Earth.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know why. Every time I do this and I draw a picture, and there's a flat Earth on it, people are like, that's for the globe. No, it's not. This is for flat Earth. This is presuming that the Earth is flat. So you presume that the Earth is flat, and then you presume that light does this with no plausible mechanism for it. Then you say it's perspective. But if you're doing triangulation, you do a triangle on the surface of flat Earth, presuming flat Earth, you get then.
Hello, everybody. This is unusual. Unusual.
Sorry, that was the video from Flat Earth Math that I clicked on and it started playing. So yeah, I don't know. 69 or 60 nautical miles per degree doesn't work, because this is what you need to happen, which is the opposite of how refraction actually happens. So that is the actual real in context of what I was saying in that conversation. But flat earthers have to lie. You may have heard it before, you gotta lie to Flerf. And that is totally it. So we saw, let me see if Yeah. So here we have Joe Hanvey posted that. So people, you could come in there. You could say, hey, how come you're lying? Why are you posting lies here? I'll say, did the devil make you do it? That's what's always so interesting. We say you gotta lie to Flerf because they're so they do it so much. But what's really weird is that that flat earthers pretend like they have some sort of a Christian faith, that they pretend that the Bible matters to them. But if it did, hey flatties, if the Bible mattered to you, why are you lying so much? Obviously, again, just like the Flerf that was in here earlier, never mind keeping themselves to any standard. So, all right, now that's Joe Hanvey. Thank you, Joe Hanvey, for being a complete failure in life. And I don't know. I think it's Red Dawn that may have done it. I don't know. I don't care. Whoever did it is dumb, and everybody that thinks that he's right is dumber. Did you miss the flat earth scientist already? There's no flat earth scientist. So, all right, let me read a couple things here. We got General E. Shady says, Delulu is not the Solulu. Flerfs suck. Delulu is not the Solulu. I don't know. Delusion is not the solution? Baux once says the sun would appear elongated in that model. Well, of course. There are so many problems with that. There has to be something physically there to cause the light to reflect. It doesn't do that just on its own. So if you're like, oh, we're looking into the concave sky. Well, it's not. But even if it were, that doesn't provide something that would cause the light to reflect. There's nothing there. So, but if there was, then it would be visually modified so that you could see it. So if it is bouncing off of a flat surface or nearly flat surface, then you would not see elongation, but he has an actual curving dome. So that curving dome would cause a modification of the view of the sun. Plus, if you look the other direction, you'd see the other copy of the sun, right? None of this helps you, right? Plus, obviously, as you already showed, there would never be night. I see Judy says, Judy got this, says Delulu is young speak for delusional. Okay. Then why is General E. Shady saying it? All right. Pat in the chat says, and the 24 hours of darkness in the summer? Yeah, that has no explanation. Right? So it's the fourth law of Flerf. All right. Let's pull it up here. The fourth law of Flerf. Right. Come on. Where'd it go? The laws of Flerf. Every attempt to Flerf explain a phenomenon contradicts Flerf explanations of some other phenomenon. No exceptions. So yeah, this attempted explanation doesn't explain why now you have to have light everywhere. You have to have 24, and there's no darkness in the summer, in our summer, northern hemisphere summer. So yep, you've destroyed that. Chris says, wouldn't America West, JetBlue, etc., have a big problem if the sun was only 10 miles high? I.e., you would run out of customers fast because you'd run into the sun every once in a while. Yeah. If the sun was in the clouds, then the airplanes would have to avoid it. But if the sun were in the clouds, then why not just like send up something to capture a little bit of it? You know, send up a little cup that you suspend from a helicopter above it. You know, so that when it comes zipping by at 1,000 miles an hour, you can get a basket of whatever the sun is made of. I don't know. Steve Revel says it's entertaining to watch Flerfs, but in reality, sad to think that some of them actually believe it with all their heart. Got to love their beliefs. It is, yeah. They do, and people that haven't paid attention, they don't know. They're just like, none of them can be serious. They are. They definitely are. And you know, they're all dumb. It's a prerequisite to being a Flerf is that you're stupid. You can't understand geometry. You can't. You have to be willing to never do your own research, even though you say. You have to be comfortable being easily indoctrinated. You know, like those videos there. So indoctrination is uncritically accepting somebody's claim. So they uncritically accepted the guy's claim, saying here's a solution for flat Earth, but it doesn't match reality. The sun was going the wrong direction. His fix was to reverse the direction of the sun movement. Not a fix. And then the inside the dome version, the sun just did this. It didn't do this. You have to turn around and look south. It did this. That's what I've said is the actual flat Earth prediction. Oh, you know, I was going to pull that up. I will pull that up quick. You deserve seeing that. This is from Janusz Takis. Janusz Takis. There it is. Yeah, he did a great 3D model here. Is this it? Is this it? Where'd it go? That's not it. Oh, where'd I put it? That's not... I don't have any of them here. All right, hold on. I got to go to Discord and grab it. There it is. So this is pretty cool. He wrote it in Python, and he said, don't give it to anybody. So I won't give it to anybody. He doesn't want it to get stolen. Oh, there he is. He just posted it for me. What a nice guy. He's watching. Hi. How you doing, Janusz? Okay. All right. So there is. Now he's got some. We can customize it. So here. Which one is this? This is the. I think this is, this is to force match observation. So this is what the sun would have to do in order to match, think about this, in order to match flat Earth, the sun has to actually be down there. How would it get down there? Well, Derper thinks that you could, put a magical acrylic dome there. But this is, right here, this is what he showed. So this is the flat Earth sun, right? So the sun is doing a route over the Tropic of Capricorn. This is flat Earth right here. And this is in Antarctica, right? It doesn't matter exactly where. But this is what the flat Earth prediction actually is. Right? But that's not what's seen. This is what's seen. Remember? It's low and you look in 360 degrees to see it. In this one, you look north and it just moves, sideways back and forth a little bit. That's it. So, Gina Forrest says, can you share the Discord? The last link timed out. Could somebody grab a Discord invite link? The non-expiring ones actually expire. You have to pay money to get them to not expire, and I just can't be made to to pay for Discord. Why was Jam M timed out? What did Jam M do? I don't see. All right. A few people. Jam M was hidden. All right, let's see. Po your boat. What did Jam M say? I just see po your boat, which is not something that I would block him for. Well, somebody send me a message why Jam M was blocked. All right, so that is the actual flat Earth prediction, but it doesn't match reality. So yeah, that's what he showed. Good job. You showed the actual prediction for flat Earth, which doesn't match reality. Okay, 1017. 1017. I'm looking for... I don't see what... All right, well, if somebody can get a screenshot, if you can get a screenshot of it, that'd be good, of what Jam M said. All right. I'm going to put that in. I don't know why that wasn't in my list here, but I'll put it in there. So, you know what? While I'm at it, I'm going to show you a couple things. And I'll give you these others here. Here is the 2021 solstice. Right? People, you take note of this here if you want. So, this is for flat Earth. This is the angles to the sun on the day of the solstice at midday, right? And you can move this around to see what matches, right? So here's flat Earth. None of these match, right? So if multiple people measure an angle to the sun, then it must meet, or there must be a reason for it not to meet, at the one point where the sun is. Doesn't work for concave Earth, but if you move it up to, this is oh, look at that. If you make it into a globe, they all match. Amazing. Amazing how that all matches. All right. Here's another one for everybody. You guys, I'll use this. All right. Oh, okay. I see. Cretan Bowl. All right. Well, here is, let's see, we can move the observer. So here I put the observer in about Sydney, and then we can set the date. So this is today, but let's set it to December 10th, because it will move forward in time, right? So now I'm going to hit go, right? And this shows us, oh, that's not, there it is. This shows us the dashed line is the angle that the sun is actually measured, the dashed line. And of course, then the sun over flat Earth, you can see is, you know, almost 90 degrees off right here. And then, of course, the dash line goes away because you don't see the sun at this point in reality where we live. And now, here we go. Look at that. Look where the sun is actually viewed, the dashed line, and look where the sun, where the flat earthers claim it is. This is Flat Earth Dave's map. This is his app, but it doesn't work. So you can speed that up, and obviously none of this works even remotely. So we can put it now. Let's put it down here at the in the Antarctic Circle. I'm going to put it over here at about 80 degrees south. It doesn't matter too much. Where it is, the view is the same. It's just shifted by a few hours. So there you go. So this is coming up on the 13th. So this is about how far south they'll be, and of course you can see the sun going due south. But think about this. This is right there. This is when, according to Flat Earth, the sun must have been set in Antarctica. No reason why has been offered that actually makes sense. And you will see it due south. And when Jaron says this is a problem, he's right. This is a problem. There you go. All right. We will be coming up to another one in a little bit here. I have a few of these. So, okay. Yes, Flat Earth Dave is a scammer. I don't care for $4.99 says, hey, hi MC Toon, keep up the great work of making Flat Earthers cry and whine. Because of you, I bought a National Geographic May 1936 magazine with the curve photo. So cool. It is. I love that. That's awesome. Mine is back, I think right here on the shelf, one of these shelves here. Oh, I don't know where it is. It might be on the shelf I have a closet over there. So, all right. We've got my YouTube thing is saying that it's not getting enough bandwidth, but it is 6,000. Okay. Alyssum says came on for some distraction from my food poisoning. Ouch. But the Flerfs on display managed to put even more S*******. I wish I had tolerance for them. I had your tolerance for them. I am showcasing how stupid they are. Flat Earthers just keep being stupid, and I'll keep showcasing you. It's what I do. It's what I like to do. If you would stop being stupid, well, you'd stop being Flat Earthers. iSolder74 says they're all parroting a definition of an experiment selected by QE in order to deny any evidence that they don't like. They think they can word game things out of existence. So that's talking about Flat Earthers' idea of science. Remember, Flat Earthers, no Flat Earther has done science. None of them have participated in science. For the most part, Flat Earthers did not do any more science than was mandatory in school. So it's rare for a Flat Earther to have taken the optional physics courses that often are, depending on your district in the United States, an optional class when you're a senior in high school. Typically, they take physical science, chemistry, biology. Physical science, biology, chemistry is the typical order, and they struggled through that. Often they would have to cheat just to pass the class, or they just scraped by with the passing grade, not understanding the topic, not really having a grip on how any of it works. And then these people that have not actually really done a scientific experiment on their own, right? These when you're in school, you do experiments in lab, but you're not doing it on your own. You're reading a book. You're just doing it by rote. Do this, then this, then this, then this, right? That's how you learn how to do it. And then at some point you need to go do it themselves, but they never have. So a lot of these people, they come into Flat Earth and they're like, I'm going to do an experiment now. And their experiments suck. A couple have, if FE Core tried, they sucked in Lake Balaton. It's a disaster. They proved the globe. But then they actually have the gall to go and think that they understand science better than the people that do science. Having never done science, you don't get to tell people that do science how to do science. Right? You need to first actually get into it and start doing it. So yes, Quantum Eraser and the rest of the Nathan Oakley clown troupe are the ones that came forward with this religious dogma version of science denialism that they ironically call science. That's the one that's based on the middle school how to do a science experiment thing. It's just this it's a cookie cutter approach for a child that's never done science before, and they think that's the only way to do it. If you can't identify the naturally occurring phenomena, then you can't do science. That's not how it works. Right? Go back here. Read this. Flatties. This right here. Right? This. Not the 6 steps of how to do science experiment for your middle school science fair project. Sit down. Read this, you losers. Then when you're done with that, this one here, Thomas Kuhn, the Structure of Scientific Revolutions, read that. Right? Those two, that's just to get you started. If you want, you got some from Ayers that you could read. He wrote a couple of guys from England. He was in the Vienna Circle. Go read the stuff from him. The logical positivism that he wrote about and then later retracted. Read those things. Then you're qualified to have a conversation, at a beginning level conversation on how to do science. But if you haven't done science, you're still lacking. Anyway, but yes, it basically, if you take the process that they claim is science, everything is thrown out. Everything. None of any science is allowed if you apply their dogmatic step-by-step process. That's the whole point of it, right? So they think they've scientifically, somehow in their head they think Earth is flat because of whatever. Science? Well, certainly not science, because none of the reasons why they think the Earth is flat was put through their version of science, which isn't science. Null says, what are your thoughts on the art of accepting being wrong? The biggest issue in discourse, in my opinion, is that people generally become emotionally attached to their position. Absolutely. We are all susceptible to that, myself included. All of us. No. Absolutely. We become emotionally attached to the position. And that's why people, not just flat earthers, tend to get into the process where they start with the conclusion and then look for things that support it. It's the wrong way to do it, and we all need to not allow that to happen. To ourselves, to our peers, and to others, right? Flat earthers, they embrace it, and they won't. No, flat earthers won't challenge each other on that. Generally, Jaron and Dave Weiss actually did to that derpling on Facebook, right? They actually did. Good for them. I was shocked when I saw Flat Earth Dave actually be critical of that. Because Flat Earth Dave, he gobbles everything up. This might be the very first time that I've actually seen him critically analyze something. Jaron wasn't fooled, of course. He's on it. But Dave, wow. Okay. Let's keep going here. We got Burnham says, isn't it also interesting the sun is too far away to see, yet the rays leapfrog us and are visible again beyond us somehow? Well, according to that guy's model, the sun never sets. But yes, how does the sun set in Antarctica according to him or Lindsay Harris or anybody who's like, they offer some explanation, right? If you look due south, right, if the sun's there, but you look that way and see it, why wouldn't you see two suns, right? One both directions. For some reason, the light from the sun there can't get here. There's nothing in the way. Why can't you see it? Reasons. But the light that somehow bounced off the back or got bent around to the back or somehow is in the back, who knows? Somehow that light gets there, but not the light that came from there. Makes no sense. Liquid Flame says no map is 100% accurate because coastlines are fractal. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. And he's saying no map is 100% accurate. Nothing is 100% accurate in meat space. How accurate do you need it to be? Is 99% accurate good enough? Tell you what, for flat earthers, you make a map that's 99% accurate and does not include Antarctica, I'm in. Right? Get the distances between Perth and Sydney, 99%.
She's a little whiny because of the dogs.
Okay, hold on. Okay. I got a kitty. Look at that. Hi, kitty. This is Raccoon. I was just handed a cat. Look at that. She's so sweet. Okay. The problem is, all right, Shifty, do you have the phone in your pocket again? All right, I'm gonna let her go. I got Donkey. No, get her out of here. Donkey is getting big. Donker is getting big. All right, hold on. I'm gonna get him up here. Oh my gosh, he's 40 pounds now. There he is, right here. Good boy. He's got this little white stripe on his chest. He's so fun. What do you think, Donkey? Do you see something? All right. Yeah, he's 40 pounds. Oh, that dog converts dog food into poop. That's what he does. And muscle. And here's Penguin. She's a sweet little girl. There you go. All right. Thank you. All right. All right, let me look at this. Did Golden Knight? Why it was? All right, Shifty. You can't put your phone in your pocket. Oh my gosh, I was talking to Shifty earlier today. Shifty, unfortunately, no, it's out of pocket switching to laptop. Oh my gosh. I don't want to take it away. Shifty's a flat earther. Shifty's decent. I don't want to take it away. Don't. It is accidental. Okay. Well, the nice thing for Golden Knight is that Golden Knight is now a mod. So it can't happen again. Okay. Yes, flat earthers make a 99% accurate map. 99% accurate distance between Perth and Sydney, and 99% accurate between Perth and South Africa. Any point of South Africa, right? And never mind Antarctica. You can't even do that. So they like to whine, we can't even go to Antarctica. Well, you can. You can. But it's obviously a lie. Because flat Earth cartographers haven't started mapping anything for flat Earth. There are no flat Earth cartographers. Not one. Not a single flat Earth cartographer. So yes, when we ask for a flat Earth map, of course we're joking. We know. I mean, not joking. We ask sarcastically because we know you can't. Because there's no such thing as a flat Earth cartographer. Just like I'm not going to actually get milk out of this. Okay. Burnham says this is what the drunks called Bailey's scattering. Oh my gosh. Bailey's? I drink so infrequently that just sits there. It just sits there. iSolder74 says it's going the wrong way. Yes, it is. It's always, flat earthers are always wrong. They can't get a single thing right. Janusz Taka says since the sun couldn't set on flat earth, maybe he should use blacklight instead to simulate night. Oh wait. That doesn't exist either. If you could just get a dark flashlight, a flashlight that shines darkness, that's what you need, right? And so you have two lampshade suns. You've got the one lampshade sun that does the weird, the whole thing, and then the spotlight dark emitting light, the black sun that emits black light. Oh my gosh. They already say black sun enough. There's no such thing as the black sun. The evidence hurts, says Flerf, shoehorning at its dumbest. Lack of brains. Yes. King Cruz says, where's my book, Magoon? NASA compels you. It's right here. It's right here. Do you notice how close I had it? It's right there. That's where it is. I actually, this side of my desk has a tray that sticks out. And I like to have my arm rest on it. But I need it at a certain height. So this book puts it at the correct height. Bailey's over Cheerios, says Ernie Matthews. Oh, that would not be good. That would not be good. Burnham says, Flat Earth equals Oz. Like the Wizard of Oz. Tin hat, lion, straw man, con artist behind a curtain, and all that. And it all starts by getting swept out of reality. Yeah. Totally. All right. Waiting for this one. Kango44 for 50 New Zealand dollars. Thank you so much, Kango. Says, what is just so stupid as freaking out over the 24-hour sun? What about freaking out about the sunsets, tides, seasons, time zones, gyroscope, Earth rotation, all pictures from space, all satellite communication, all probes on other planets? Clowns? Yes, flat earthers are all clowns. Well, how about freaking out about lying constantly? Flat earthers, try not lying. Oh, well, you won't get very far if you don't do that. Did you try restart? It says, kudo to Will Duffy for trying to organize the final experiment and try to change Flerfs' minds. MC Toon, do you think the outcome will change anything at all? I think it will change the minds of a very small number of flat earthers at most. Any that go, they can't come back and have any credibility and still be flat earthers, right? If they go, assuming that the sun does what the globe does, right? If the sun does what flat earth predicts, then I'm out. I'm not a glober anymore. I have the courage to do that. If the sun doesn't match the globe, I'm out. If the sun doesn't match flat earthers should be out. That's following the evidence. That's letting the evidence bring you to the conclusion instead of pre-selecting the conclusion. I've stated this in a video. Several others have done this. Shady, in the chat, Flat Earther, has stated this as well. So after, this is the cool thing, Shady and any other Flat Earthers, I don't know if there's any others. As of December, late December, we agree with each other on the shape of the Earth. Right? If we're both honest. Shady, if you're honest and if I'm honest, no matter what the result is, we're both in agreement on the shape of the Earth. And any flat earther that has the courage to say, I will follow the evidence, we will be in agreement in late December on the shape of the Earth. So far, no flat earther that I've seen that has any even nominal following has had the courage to say that. Right? It's a sickness. It really is. If you're not willing to follow evidence, it's a sickness. And they're like, oh, the Bible. Well, hold on a second. Think about this. They're like, but God's word says it's flat. If it's wrong, then by definition, it can't be God's word. So if you think God's word says incorrect thing, that's not God's word. Right? If obviously atheists and people that don't have a position on the Bible or on God's word, it's nothing to them. I get that. But to the flat earthers, to the the ones that say that the Bible says, those people, look, it's not the right, again, it's starting with the conclusion, right? And then only accepting things that support it. S. Thurston too says, yeah, no flat earthers followed evidence so far. They have gone, the evidence doesn't match the globe, so it's flat. This isn't following the evidence. Well, they don't even have evidence that it doesn't match the globe. All they have is their own idiocy and their incapability of understanding how to actually make predictions about how the earth should look, about how the earth should measure, right? Go get a book on surveying. Go read it. This was like $12 used. I found it used. This is Surveying, 8th edition. Most current is 10th, by Francis Moffat and Henry Bouchard. Right? You could get this, and then you could read how to do surveying, and then you would know, and you wouldn't have to make up lies about how surveyors do surveying. Right? You could do that, but no, you don't want to do that. You want to remain ignorant. You could believe the lies that Whitsitt has said about how electrostatics work. Or you could go get a book or take a class, and then you could see about how electrostatics works. It's chapter 2 in this book. And chapter 2 in this book. This book is the book I used when I was in college on my electromagnetism class, or we just call it E&M. This is the book that Leslie Rower used. I just got it today. Chapter 2 is on electrostatics. I mean, it's a different book, different authors, but the process is the same. You could get this book on surveying. It's called Surveying Practice. Right? You could read this book to see what it says about how to do surveying. But no, you don't want to do that. None of you want to actually do any actual high quality anything. You're at this level, but you're going to reject this. So, yeah. Azimuthal grid of vision. All right. O. Henry 78 says, why won't you debate McFlatty, you coward? I think McFlatty's still grounded. But yeah, it's tough. I don't know. It's hard to schedule a debate between me and McFlatty. Who knows why? That might be hard. Nerd Pedantic Alert says, what about the aperture scientific method? We do what we want because we can. The aperture scientific method. We do what we want because we can. Well, is that a real thing? I don't know. But Samuel Rowbottom, at least, he didn't at least create some derpy method and then call it science. He created a derpy method and called it something else. He called it Zeteticism. And to him, Zeteticism is, if you didn't do it yourself, it doesn't count. Right? Which is backwards again, because there's no way one person can actually be an expert in all of the things that they want to do. Plus, it doesn't work in practice. For example, let's say you get an infection, right? Say you cut your leg and you've got an infection in your leg. Well, what do you do to solve that infection? Well, you'd use maybe some ointment. Well, did you make that ointment yourself? No. Did you test the ingredients of that ointment yourself to make sure that it solves the problems of infection? No. Did you isolate the specific bacteria in the infection and have previously confirmed that the ointment you're going to put on actually treats that particular bacteria? No to all of those things. You've not done any of those, yet you'll put the ointment on. And if the ointment doesn't work, you might go take some medication. You might take amoxicillin. Say your infection goes bad. You've got red streaks going up your leg, right? You go to the doctor. Doctor says, you've got a bad infection. Take this amoxicillin. Well, flat earther using the zetetic method, did you verify that the amoxicillin will actually treat this particular type of infection? Of course you didn't. Did you make that amoxicillin yourself? Of course you didn't. Of course, all of a sudden, zeticism is out the window when you actually have to really do something that matters. Nerd Pedantic Alert says it's a Portal reference, specifically to the title song. And I've not played Portal much, and I apologize to the maker of Portal, who is often in the chat. He's seriously the guy that makes Dirk Swizzler. He made Portal, and he's often in here. But no, I've not played it enough. I'm sorry to know that the Aperture Scientific method is we do what we can, what we want because we can. Sorry. Eddie Reese says super chat for the pets, always a hit. Thank you. I don't know. Maybe Turtle will show up and people can say I like turtles. iSolder74 says Feynman being Feynman says we need a diagram. Hexaflexagons V heart. Well, Feynman diagrams? I don't need to, are you talking about the K-Calais? I don't know, but yeah, Feynman also talked about, I was going to bring up the video, but Feynman also talked about how to do science. You guess. Then you compute the consequences of that guess, and then you test by comparing to observation, experiment, or reality. And if it doesn't match, it's falsified. Right? It's wrong, he says. Now, again, that's a simplistic way of doing it. Right? Read these. Right? Read these and some others. And when you're through with these, then you'll have a better understanding of it. Right? You can't bring this down into 2-3 sentences. You can't. Right? You don't need to... he's a lot more wordy than necessary. I'll tell you that. But he goes through how he gets there. This is, I mean, it's a serious book. 480 pages, almost 500 pages. Feynman's little thing where he says, you know, you guess, you compute, you compare. That's this in 3 words. There's more to it than that. So it's much more nuanced in reality. It's not hard quite so hard edged as that. So all right. Stringer News 1 says Donkey seems so much smaller in person. Yeah, Stringer News 1 saw Donkey in person in April. It's now July. Donkey has gotten bigger. Donkey was 10 pounds, maybe, when Stringer News 1 saw him. Donkey is converted, two things. Donkey has converted dog food, a lot of dog food, into poop and muscle. That's about it. Poop and muscle. Tim Davidson says there is a DED or dark emitting diode. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Dark emitting diode. Yeah, I wasn't buying it. April Fool's Day post on dark emitting diodes. Nice, Tim Davidson. I didn't buy it. Mr. E-Man says the Flerfs will only read the words that support their premise that the Earth is flat. Well, yes, it's hilarious. That's where the first law of Flerf is so successful. They will post something after having read only the title, thinking that it proves flat Earth, and when you actually read it, it contradicts flat Earth. Same thing. They'll Google and they'll take the Google summary. They won't even click into the thing, and they'll post a screenshot of the Google results and be like, "Hey, proof." And then you look at it again, and every time and you call them out, you're like, this, you know, you just proved the globe again. Isotter says it's from a YouTube video called Hexaflexagons by VHeart. Okay. All right. All right. Professor Phil Bell says they could ask the airlines and shipping companies to share the real flat Earth. Why are they hiding it? It's ridiculous. You can get on a plane. You could turn on your GPS tracker. You buy a specific GPS device and turn on the tracking, and it will record your GPS position every minute or 2 minutes or whatever you set it to. And then you could plot it out on flat Earth and plot it out on the globe. And you can see where the plane actually went. You could be in the plane. You could probably even ship something and do that. I don't know. If it's in a shipping container, it might be shielded enough to not be able to get a signal. So that might be difficult. But maybe if you flew it, right? If you ship something air freight from Australia to South America, I don't know. All right, Stringer knows one. 1N4148 emits dark even when the power is off. Not buying it. Not buying it. Eddie Reese says these books are way too advanced for Flerfs. You need to start them out with green eggs and ham. Even that. Isider74 says all they do is quote Samuel Rowbottom, who had no idea himself. Of course, yes, the OG Papa Flerf is Sam Rowbottom, who was kicked out of a religious commune. Did not, to my knowledge, I think he did not finish high school. He lied, claiming that he was a doctor. He was not a doctor of any sort, but he did that in order to sell his potion that he claimed would make you live forever. Literally claimed that, yet he died. Obviously, he's a liar, just like all other flat earthers. Yes, flat earthers and snake oil salesmen. So, well, all right, Isotter74. Hold on. You can post that. Post the link to that. Ezra the Music Guy says Happy Tunes Day. Thank you for that. And Jolene says it's like people who refuse to use a library for their code. They would rather write it all themselves. Just dumb and pointless logic. This is a programmer thing. I write software, and when I needed to implement TLS for email, I did not write it myself. I used a third-party library. I've used both Bouncy Castles and JSSE, and they're both quite nice. I didn't do it myself. When we needed to break apart Microsoft Word documents and other Office documents, we didn't write it ourselves. We used Tika. When let's see, what else have we've used a lot. When I needed to develop something that we could search through, I used Lucene. Then we retired that and replaced it with Elasticsearch. I did not write the database server from scratch. We used MySQL. King Cruz says, for $500, I got some dehydrated water for you. It's super healthy. Yes. So, yes. And yeah, flat earthers, when they want to do, they've had surveyors, like low-level, nominal surveyors, but it doesn't matter because they're like surveyors. When they've had surveyors that were working with them to try to prove the flat Earth, they've invented different ways to do the things that surveyors, real surveyors, have already done in other methods, right? They don't want to do reciprocal zenith angles. Why not? Well, because it proves the globe. They don't want to do spherical, triangles. Why not? It proves the globe. They want to do differential leveling using the normal differential leveling techniques. Why is that? Because they don't understand that it doesn't support them. Where'd it go? Hold on, I'm gonna get it. Well, I'm not gonna put it up right now. Differential leveling is a process that surveyors use to determine the elevation between different positions, and it specifically has techniques in it to deal with the Earth being a globe and to deal with the refraction. But flat earthers, they don't quite get that. So, all right, iSolder 674 has this. All right, I'll grab that. We can watch it. I'm guessing it's going to be. All right, let me back it up. All right. Hexaflexagons.
US, and you got your old school supplies from England and your new school supplies from the US, and it's your first day of school, and you get to class and find that your new American paper doesn't fit in your old English binder. The paper is too wide and hangs out. So you cut off the extra and end up with all these strips of paper, and to keep yourself amused during your math class, you start playing with them. And by you, I mean Arthur H. Stone in 1939. Anyway, there's lots of cool things you can do with a strip of paper. You can fold it into shapes, and more shapes. Maybe spiral it around snugly like this. Maybe make it into a square. Maybe wrap it into a hexagon with a nice symmetric sort of cycle to the flappy parts. In fact, there's enough space here to keep wrapping the strip, and then your hexagon is pretty stable. And you're like, I don't know, hexagons aren't too exciting, but I guess it has symmetry or something. Maybe you could kind of fold it so the flappy parts are down and the unflappy parts are up. That's symmetric, and it collapses down into these 3 triangles, which collapse down into 1 triangle, and collapsible hexagons are, you suppose, cool enough to at least amuse you a little bit during your class. And then, since hexagons have 6-way symmetry, you decide to try this 3-way fold the other way, with flappy parts up, and are collapsing it down when suddenly the inside of your hexagon decides to open right up. What? You close it back up and undo it. Everything seems the same as before. The center is not open-upable. But when you fold it that way again, it flips inside out. Weird. This time, instead of going backwards, you try doing it again, and again, and again, and you want to make one that's a little less messy, so you try again with another strip and tape it nicely into a twisty foldy loop. You decide it would be cool to color the sides, so you get out a highlighter and make one yellow. Now you can flip from yellow side to white side. Yellow side, white side, yellow side, white side, white side? What? Where did the yellow side go? So you go back, and this time you color a white side green, and find that your piece of paper has 3 sides, yellow,
That green is yellow. I don't know what she's talking about.
white, and green. Now this thing is definitely cool, therefore you need to name it, and since it's shaped like a hexagon, and you flex it, and flex rhymes with hexaflexagon it is. That night you can't sleep because you keep thinking about hexaflexagons, and the next day, as soon as you get to your math class, you pull out your paper strips. You'd made this sort of spirally folded paper that folds into, again, the shape of a piece of paper, and you decide to take that and use it like a strip of paper to make a hexaflexagon, which should totally work, but it feels sturdier with the extra paper. And you color the 3 sides and are like, orange, yellow, pink, and you're sort of trying to pay attention to class, math, yeah, orange, yellow, pink, orange, yellow, white? Wait a second. Okay, so you color that one green, and now it's orange, yellow, green, who knows where the pink side went? Oh, there it is. Now it's back to orange, yellow, pink, blue. Yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, With the old flexagon, you could only flex it one way, flappy way up. But now there's more flaps, so maybe you can fold it both ways. Yes, one goes from pink to blue, but the other from pink to orange. And now one way goes from orange to yellow, but the other way goes from orange to neon yellow. During lunch, you want to show it off to one of your new friends, Bryant Tuckerman. You start with the original simple 3-faced hexaflexagon, which you call the trihexaflexagon. And he's like, whoa, and wants to learn how to make one. And you're like, it's easy, just start with a paper strip. Fold it into equilateral triangles, and you'll need 9 of them, and you fold them around into this cycle and make sure it's all symmetric. Like, the flat parts are diamonds, and if they're not, then you're doing it wrong. And then you just tape the first triangle to the last along the edge, and you're good. But Tuckerman doesn't have tape after all. It was invented only 10 years ago. So he cuts out 10 triangles instead of 9 and then glues the first to the last. Then you show him how to flex it by pinching around a flappy part and pushing it on the opposite side to make it flat and triangly, and then opening from the center. You decide to start a flexagon committee together to explore the mysteries of flexigation. But that will have to wait until next time.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I was unaware of that. Thank you for 74. So Jiffy Jiffold says it's almost one time around the sun. Give King Crew his book. It's been more than one time around the sun. When I don't think I dated it. Oh no, I did not date it. I think it's been 3 years. You know what, King Crew? Megadeth is going to be playing up in Minneapolis here. How about you come up and we go see him, and I'll give you the book back. Give it to you. So, all right. So this, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you another. This is going to be a little nuts. So I'm going to show you this. This is Flat Earth Banjo. Now, Flat Earth Banjo has been going nuts on the final experiment. So if you look here, his last 6 live streams have been all about the final experiment. And he is dumb. I say this unreservedly. Andy Alencar Flat Earth Banjo is dumb. He's incredibly dumb. He is so incredibly stupid. Eddie is so dumb that he probably is mentally handicapped. He should be kept away from other people. He should be seriously removed from access to unmonitored access to other people. That's how dumb he is. So anyway, 6 videos here on the final experiment in a row. One of those, let's see here. One of those, let's see, do I have it here? He actually really, all right. I have a screenshot. Yep, here it is. Here's a screenshot from his video, from one of those 6 videos. This is what he thinks is a possible scenario that needs to be addressed about the final experiment, where Jaron and Austin might be going to Antarctica. He claims Austin is a shill. He gets Jaron unalived in Antarctica and comes back from there saying there's a 360-degree sun circling around Antarctica. Then, just like Leandro from Brazil, I don't know who that is, Austin gets TV interviews, possibly a book or movie deal. Yep, that's how mentally ill Eddie Alencar is. Flat Earth Banjo. He should not be allowed unrestricted access to other people. Yep. Anyway, so yes, this is interesting. 2.3 thousand views, 2.8, 2.9, 2.5, 2.2, 2.6. He doesn't get a lot of views. And they're all pretty consistent numbers of views. So anyway, we're going to watch this one here, just a little bit of it. The Flat Earth on Sundays. Who is helping Will Duffy? Now, who's helping Will Duffy? Well, lots of people. Whoever he asks to help him, I suppose, would him. Will has asked me for assistance sometimes. I have provided assistance. I'm happy to help most anybody if I can. So, all right. All right, he's...
Other and so,
All right, yeah, you listen to his voice, he's like, yep, he's definitely not all there.
hello, I don't work in 92,000. Hi, so Michael Strauss, whistleblower, RP, Globals are
Yeah, he reads everybody whose name is in the chat. So,
doing something here because I can't see.
all right, I gotta move ahead. He farted around for a while. There it is. Okay.
Okay, it's working now. All right, now I see it. So let's get started. All right, guys. So this is Samuel Shenton. Okay, he was the president of IFRS, International Flat Earth Society Research Society, which, by the way, Eric Dubé is the president now.
Eric Dubé is the president of the International Flat Earth Research Society, IFRS. Eric became the president because there was no president. It didn't, and then he just started it up again. So it's an inconsistent timeline. Nobody had been claiming ownership of it, so Eric Dubé just did. So
through the years 1966, 1967, 1968, he had thousands of members, International Flat Earth Research Society. And then came 1969. Supposedly, man went to the moon. Images on TV, videos, news, interview with astronauts, okay? I think what was left from his International Flat Earth Research Society was like just a dozen members, maybe less. A lot of people jumped out of the ship because they thought the globe was real. And can you imagine, like, this couple people, 10 people remained, 12 people maybe, and everybody else fell for the trick, for the movie they made in 1969. So many people fell. So,
speaking of the moon landing, I will be debating Marcus Allen tomorrow night on the moon landing. Be looking for that.
calling for this, the final experiment. I have been getting lots of messages and, posts from Globers and from Flat Earthers criticizing the A map and all that stuff. So I'm going to read this. This is from Divergent Droid. You think the globe projection claim to be a Flat Earth map model is any better? Globers do have lots of explanations for the model they push. They just don't line up with physics.
Again, this is Divergent Droid, which is a Flat Earther who's, I think in the part of the Oakley Clown Troupe. And then Globers have a lot of explanations for the model they push, but they don't line up with physics. Now, here we go. Flat Earthers who don't understand physics are claiming that it doesn't line up with physics. Pretty standard Flat Earth position. They don't know physics, but somehow they think they know physics better than people that do know physics.
For his Flat Earth map model. I cannot ever validate the model because, one, we cannot explore any map displays not allowed, and it's fallaciously reify the model into existence.
So, reify again is something that Oakley likes to say a lot. That means to reify means to on the model. That's to put the model above reality. which ironically is exactly what flat earthers do, right? They have a model. Their model is it's flat. That's it. That's their model. And then they say, then they're like, everything matches, they say. Everything that they see has to then be forced to match their model. That's the reification. They're doing the reification, right? But Oakley has made it so that if you use a model, he thinks that that is a reification, which is the opposite. Crit Thought says, when are you debating him? The audio cut out for a second when you mentioned this. Jeez, I'm going to have to fight through my audio a little bit more tomorrow. I am debating him, and I know what I need to do here. I'm debating him on Modern Day Debate tomorrow night. So I don't know the exact time. Sometimes Modern Day Debate a little bit shaky. Let me see if it's at least up. Man, it's not even on there yet. Well, it's tomorrow. Destiny versus Howard, 7:24 at 7 p.m. Well, there might be a problem because tomorrow at 7 p.m. there's a different debate scheduled on Modern Day Debate. I was actually messaging with Ryan yesterday saying you need to get the thing set up. So it's on the schedule according to James from a while ago. Anyway, I'll have to. All right, hold on. I have to. I have to message. I'm gonna message Ryan right now. Looks like the debate is messed up for tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know. That's when it's supposed to be. We'll see what happens. Maybe if Modern Day Debate can't handle it, we'll have it be somewhere else. I don't know. Ryan has been doing a lot of the moderation lately, and he's I think he's doing a pretty good job moderating. I don't like the format much. Just 10 minutes, open discussion. It gets a little sloppy. The topic just wanders. That's the problem. I prefer where you have, present on one topic, discuss that topic, next. Present on a topic, discuss that topic, next, right? So then you have to keep on the same topic. You can't wander. All right. Anyway, Divergent Droid. Yeah, he's a Oakley acolyte. So yeah, there it is. Let me see if I can. Why is that at 480? Hopefully you can read that a little better. So this is then Eddie's gonna read. It's just incredible how crappy. There it is. It's back. Why? Why? Loop back. You suck. This could, yeah, I know what I need to do to fix this. Where because my audio is coming through the same channel as the YouTube audio, and it should not. That's the problem. I don't want that to be the case. So, let me check here. Let me just give me a second here. Audio disabled to OBS. So if I could do, let's see if that works. We'll see if we'll do this. Okay, now I'm doubled. I get it. I'll fix it. Okay, now I'm singled. Just me. Should be coming through. And that doesn't look very loud, so I need to fix that. Filters. Gain. That's not right. That's their gain. But okay. There it is. How's that? Yep, that's louder. And noise suppression. There we go. Okay. So that's me fixed. And then
the luminaries dictating the shape of the Earth.
There we go.
Send me the verses where it says that the shape of the Earth is related to where the luminaries are. Just send me this Bible verse.
The Bible doesn't talk about it. There, Banjo. That's the problem. You shouldn't be. The Bible's not a science book. That's when the stink of desperation. Like the Bible says that pi is 3.0. It's not its point. It's not the purpose of the Bible. Right? It doesn't give a proper taxonomy of birds. It includes bats. It's not the point of the Bible. It's a list of things you should not eat. So you don't need to go to the Bible to see what shape something is. Just go measure it. We did it. It's a globe.
Another answer from me. Level Earth observer is a crane operator. Finally, this is a flat earther. I work international air cargo freight. We need maps, understand? Things don't work without maps. We need to know the routes, where to stop for emergencies, the shortest distance between 2 points, etc. I also travel all over this great plane. I have observed reality. This is what Level Earth Observer always says, observed reality. I do have observed reality. And I fly Rio to LA, and we fly over the islands towards the Gulf of Mexico, and enter the US through Texas towards LA, as the AE map has it.
Now, Banjo is notorious for not having a damn clue about how flights routes work. He uses he claims the globe uses the Mercator map, and so he just draws a straight line on a Mercator map. That's not how navigation works. He is so incredibly stupid that he does that wrong. And Jaron and Austin, to their credit, have called out this idiot, FE Banjo, Eddie Alencar, on his book of 16 flights that he thinks are wrong. And they're like, these 16 flights that he thinks prove flat Earth, but they're all 16 are wrong. And at least Jaron and Austin have identified that 10 of them are not right. So good for them. All 16 are not right. But other flat earthers have actually called out this idiot FE Banjo dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. And he won't fix it. He won't address it when other flat earthers are like, hey, Eddie, you're an idiot. And I'm not pulling any punches. If you're stupid, you're stupid. Eddie is stupid. But all right, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here because he gets this. All right. This is insane.
Our son. He's not he's ruling out the fact that the people lie and people are bought. So he's totally ruling out a fake son or Jaron coming back lying about 24/7.
Oh yeah, fake son. So The fake sun. In a previous video, Eddie has found that somebody created what they called a sun, right? An artificial sun. Of course, it's just a spotlight on a pole, right? And he thinks this is how incredibly stupid Eddie Alencar is. He thinks that a light on a pole could be driven around south of the position where they're in Antarctica there, while they're out on the ice, to fake a sun. How could the real sun set and you not notice that it's set and then get replaced by a fake sun? No idea. How could that fake sun be high enough yet far enough away to see it at the right elevation? No clue. Eddie is too damn stupid to understand it. And how could you put a solar filter on your camera and look at it and see it? You think that well, Eddie is dumb enough to get fooled by it, but any other person is not, right? Eddie has a single digit IQ. He's dumb. Eddie Alencar, you're stupid. You should not be allowed to access the internet without supervision. You're that stupid. He could be fooled by it. He's that stupid. But Jaron at least isn't that stupid. Jaron is smart enough to say, well, let's just put a solar filter on it. And how could they swap? This is how stupid you... How could you swap the fake sun for the real sun? How would you not notice that? You absolute moron. All right, now watch this. This is just absolutely insane.
Okay, he prefers to attack the map. So I'm gonna prove one more time and
Proof.
shout out to the Flat Earth Warriors. He sent me this article. There's no 24-hour sun.
Okay, this is indoctrination. Remember, indoctrination is where you uncritically accept something without analysis.
In Antarctica. So this guy, Mike Horn, completed Antarctic Traverse. I'm going to paste this link in the chat. You can read it by yourself in your own language. I sent to my friends in Brazil. They were able to read in Portuguese. Mike Horn completed Antarctic Traverse. This is from May 22nd, 2017. Stats about longest skiing distance and previous kite skiers, arriving living by boat, news about solo sailors around Antarctica, Lisa Blair. After 57 days, on the 7th of February at 10:50 p.m., Mike Horn, the end of the Antarctic continent, it's done. Reads the message Horn sent to his home team. Mike started his ski traverse on December 13 before the solstice, 2016. Before the December solstice of December 21, at 70 degrees south, 9 west, where he got off his boat and stepped the continent with a sled of approximately 210 kilograms, about 350 pounds. He at the geographic South Pole on January 9, correction, not December 28, as written before, where he had eaten with the ale staff and continued beyond the pole. The distance from the coast to the pole was 2,215 kilometers, about 1,400.
This is all talk about how far the trip was, because there's, it's about the record for the longest trip or in the shortest amount of time and things like that.
In a straight line. His home team reported Mike had covered 5,100 kilometers, about 3,200 miles. The distance to the coast should be 2,185 kilometers, about 1,600 miles. His exact location of the coast is not given yet. If the 5,100 kilometers is the precise distance in a straight line, it is the longest distance covered by a kite skier on Antarctica. According to the statistics of Adventure Stats, add Mike's exact position this straight line will be soon as updated as it's available. 2005-2006 season origin, completed solo and assisted kite ski traverse from to Terra Nova, covering 4,800 kilometers. He's the one who received any meals along the way. His traverse is classified as solo, run through Nova, but left Terra Nova by boat. Guys, I'm going to get to the very important point here. Dated February 12, 2017, according to the rules of Adventure Stats and the Antarctica Traverse, has to traverse the full continental ocean. The stats and the end points have to be from the boundary between land and water. Permanent ice is considered part of the ocean, not the land. The point starting Horn gives south 70. This is when he started, till the geographic North Pole, 90 degrees South 70 degrees, west 9 is out to the ocean and up to 100 kilometers from land. Measuring the actual crossing should be from the ledge of the land. In the longitude west 9, land starts at 70 degrees south, so my current slip was 4,718 kilometers and put blah, 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 all distance measured in straight line. So I'm going to skip this part to just look at this one right here. So I'm just going to skip and go direct to the point, okay? He found the kite again around strategy. Mike spent on 14 hours ski trip. He also, I'm going to put this really big right here. He also reported that the sun sets at night, which made for cold tent temperature this late in the season.
Yes.
This guy was in Antarctica from December 13, 2016 to January 9. He also reported that the
February 6th, not January 9th.
sun set at night, which made for cold tent temperatures this late.
All right. The indoctrinated idiots in his chat are praising him. Praise Jesus for the flat earth proof here. But did any of them do any critical analysis to see what it predicts? They did not. They're all idiots. Every one of them. Let's have a look here. Let's review. 67 degrees and 15 minutes south latitude. Let's go in here. It was, let's first get the date was February 6th. So let's go to February 6th. I'll put this, the link to this in the chat. You all can look at this on your own time. There we go. And what was the latitude? 67 3/4 or 1/4, 67.25. South latitude. All right, the longitude doesn't matter, but we'll get the right longitude. What's he say? 130. Oh, he zoomed. There you go. 138 and 52 minutes. So let's do 139. 139 degrees longitude. All right, so there it is. 139. Right there. So here's the prediction for the globe. Right? There's the sun out there. You see it there off in the distance? There's the sun. And here's what is predicted for the globe. You see that? All right, so I'm going to hit play and we're going to watch the prediction for the globe. Does the globe predict that the sun should set? Well, yes, it does. Right there. The globe predicts, you see that the sun is not, right? You see this dot here? Is that red? It's not visible. The globe predicts the sun will set. Eddie Alencar, you are an idiot. You are stupid. You are dumb. And every single person that watched this video and didn't say Eddie is stupider than Eddie. The globe predicts that the sun will set. Eddie is so dumb that he thinks that the sun for the entirety of Antarctica should not set. Between, I don't know what, he doesn't even have a damn clue what dates it should start, but equinox to equinox. He probably thinks all of Antarctica, equinox to equinox, should be 24-hour sun. He's so dumb. Eddie Alencar, get off the internet. Check yourself back into the asylum you escaped from. Never again speak to another human other than the orderlies that bring you your medication, your antipsychotic medication every day. That's it. You don't deserve to be talking to other humans. You're too stupid. You're too stupid. So here it is. He I don't know what to say. You're so dumb. Now here's the question. Did any flat earthers, did even one flat earther say, hold on a second? Did one flat earther say, wait a second, that's not it? Nope. None. Not one. So I have the audio off. I'm going to hit fast speed. I want to see if any of them call him out on this and say, hey, did you check to see what the globe predicts? Of course not. Of course they won't. Let's see. Let's see. We've got They Live Truth says, and fake Globers and fake flat earthers like to focus only on the sky, not what's under our feet, and water being level. Water is level. Yep, it's curved. That's the definition of level. Oh, the final experiment comes in there. That's Will. Will is in there. He's talking to Roger Ledwell. There it is. The problem for the deceivers is inherited uncorruptibility for some. The problem is here, none of the people in this idiot's chat care about truth. All of these claimed truthers don't like truth. None of them have called him out on his untrue claim here. Where are you, truthers? Where'd you go, truthers? Flat Earth. Ooh, was this the same idiot that was in my chat earlier here? Made some accusations. What if the hidden lands beyond Antarctica don't get any light from the sun, so they have a sun simulator in Antarctica to light up the land? Oh my gosh, you're so dumb. It's just this mythology that they've created. Show us the curvature of the Earth without the NASA photo. Oh yeah. Tell you what. And flat earthers, think about this. They make these demands. They're like, show us the curve. Okay. Without NASA. Sure, absolutely. Let's do it. Here's a photo without NASA. Right there. There's the curve. NASA's not involved. Almost 300,000 feet. Curve. There you go. So now the problem is that flat earthers, being liars, will lie and reject this. They'll just blanket reject it because they can't handle it. Because they are not truthers. They're liars. Let's get another one here. Here you go. This is from the National Geographic that was brought up earlier here. I'll zoom in. This is a photo at 72,000 feet. There you go. 72,395 feet over South Dakota. All right. This is 1935, a couple decades before NASA existed. And there's this black line that's been added in post. This is taken with an anastigmatic lens. An anastigmatic lens is aggressively made to not introduce any distortion in it. They use it for map making. They'll take a picture from high elevation, and then they measure. They use it to measure distances. So it's very important that it not add distortion. So this black line was added on top of the photo using an anastigmatic lens. So here we go. Left side, we'll go to about the middle. You can see right there in the middle, there's a bigger gap right down there. See that? Now we keep going, and it comes down to no very small gap on this side. So left side, very small gap. Right side, very small gap. Middle, big gap. There's the curve. Flat earthers are liars. Hey, what in the chat? What in the chat? Right here, proof. Proof. You can only lie about this. This is your only response. This is what flat earthers will do. They will lie about this. So I got it. I got it there for you, flat earth. Not flat earth. Who is it? Who was it? Who says there it is. Jeep Yoda Adventure. Here's a final experiment. Show us the curvature of the Earth without the NASA photo. Done. Will they accept it? Never. Never. They hate the truth. They hate reality. Will says, I came here to find out who I'm working with. Yeah, because the title of this video is Who's Helping Will Duffy? All right. Well, I'm pretty confident that nobody is calling him out on his inaccurate assertion. It didn't prove anything there, Banjo, other than that you are an idiot. Now, I'm not going to pull any punches with Flat Earth Banjo. He's an idiot. He needs to be supervised when he's accessing the internet. His brain isn't good enough to access the internet and talk with other people unsupervised. He's like a child. He's like a little 3-year-old child. That's it. Yes, Deadpool 2028 says send them to the Himawari satellite website, takes a picture from geosynchronous orbit every 10 minutes and publishes them live. Japan and Australia side, they just claim, so they love lying, and so they will lie and say it's fake. That's it. They can't stop lying. Lying is the way of the Flerf. I have that song from a video coming up. I'm working on some more videos. So, all right. Randomly Epic has been a member for 12 months and says it's our 2-anniversary. Thank you for that. Fun fact, this last weekend was my wife and I's anniversary. We had a great weekend. Yeah, I was online much less. We went kayaking, we went for a bike ride, we went out to eat. We had a good weekend. It was very nice. So, if anybody, while I'm off topic here, if anybody is in the Milwaukee area, I will be in the Milwaukee area 3 times in the coming months. Once in mid-August and twice in September, the early September and late September. So if there's anybody interested, we could do something. It'll be on the weekends. So it could be a Friday or Saturday or Sunday night, because we're staying Friday through Monday, all three days. So if you're interested, could do something in there. Even more specifically, if you would like to, if you're in the area and you'd like to have a presentation, a live in-person presentation on the topic of the shape of the earth, or believing or trusting or doing your own understanding of science, epistemology, essentially, that's I'd love to give a presentation on that. So King Cruz says the only real way to celebrate an anniversary is by going to Miami with my book. Dude, if I didn't, then what would my arm rest on? Look how thick that is. It's perfect. Yes, thank you for the congratulations, everybody. It's been, and Frank Burns says Stockholm syndrome. Here it is, right here, Frank. There's the picture he sent me. All right, Jiffy Jiffwald says, I meant almost one time around for me. Oh, for you. Okay. Got it. Kango44 says, what's a year for a flat earther? Once around the sun? Once of the sun doing 365 and a quarter loops around flat earth. Oh no, once of the sun moving in and out for no reason. That they talk physics, they talk science. Why does the sun move when it's doing tight circles on the Tropic of Cancer to doing wide circles around the Tropic of Capricorn, and then moving back in around to do tight circles around the Tropic of Cancer? What's the physics of that, idiots? If you can't talk physics, you can't talk optics. You guys are dumb. You're just too stupid. Seriously, have some self-reflection. Oh, is what still in here? Is what question mark exclamation? No, just what question mark, all caps. What's it? Flat Earth Banjo stomped your toy globe. No, he didn't. Flat Earth Banjo is mentally handicapped. He really is. He's seriously mentally handicapped. Now, what? Make a prediction. What time will the sun set using flat Earth geometry? You don't know. What's the physics that causes the sun to move in and out in its movement around the dirt pizza? You don't know. What keeps the sun up? What keeps the moon up? Why is it that people on opposite sides of the GP of the moon see the same face of the moon? You can't explain that. Why is it that reciprocal zenith angles always sum to more than 180 degrees? Why is it that large triangles on the surface of the earth sum to more than 180 degrees? Why is it that things are obstructed bottom up at all if there's nothing between the observer and the bottom of the object? And what is the magnitude of the obstruction according to whatever nonsense you think is there? None of these things are explainable by you. None of them. None of them. You can't do celestial navigation. $10,000 if you can. You can't explain the magnitude of the downward acceleration. $10,000 if you can. So what? You're stupid. You just have an irrational, dumb belief. It's a mythology. It's a religion. It's a cult. And you're just the stupid one that fell for it. Jiffy Jiffwald says, ask what about the size and distance of the sun for me, please. Great. Hey, what? How high is the sun over your flat earth? If you can't answer, you fail. What is the angular size of the sun? Prediction for different times of day at different positions on the earth. You have no damn idea. You're too stupid. If you can't answer, you admit flat earth is a lie. Seriously, here you are trying to troll this here, right? You can't answer one question about flat earth. Not one. Not one. I can answer every question you have about the globe, idiot. Every single one I can answer. You won't accept them, but I can answer. You can't answer one question about flat earth. What time will the sun set? Using flat earth geometry. What time will the sun set? You can't. Simple one. Okay. Arnold says to fix the audio, just reroute power from the shields and invert the phase of something. That's how it always works in Star Trek. Well, I think, so I did change. So the audio from me, from my microphone to OBS is not going through loopback. And loopback is a little flaky right now. They've improved it. There was an update since last week to loopback and an update to OBS since last week. So it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's better or not. We'll see. Ezra the music guy says 16 flights to prove Flat Earth Banjo is an idiot. Yeah, I mean, he's got it right there. Look, it's on his screen there. See, on the right side? 16 emergency landings that prove that flat earthers are idiots. At least that Banjo is an idiot. He's not a flight planner. He has no idea how to do flight planning. Yet he Dunning-Kruger LARPs as knowing how to do flight planning. Ian says my mic has not been cutting off. Thank you. Yeah, so I have to do a little bit of work here in OBS to move things around a little bit. So it was, if you remember the last couple weeks, it would happen where my guest in Zoom would not show up. I fixed that by rerouting some things, but now it's not working still. So I don't know. Another update to loopback, hopefully. I'm watching every day for them to update it. So Alyssum says, I'm skeptical of Jaron's honesty. He's disproven the flat earth several times. Interesting. ISS, etc. But then always went back to selling the flat earth scam. Yep. I am skeptical of it as well. He has been saying the right things, and he's been saying the right things for a while. Here's the thing. Did he act like this? Did he say it really matters before his behind the curve experiment. I don't know. He didn't get, there wasn't a lead time to that either. So, I mean, this is giving him a chance to really stake his claim, and for other flat earthers to stake their claim. And Jaron has sort of staked his claim. Good for him. He hasn't yet said if he should. I hope he will. And if he does it on video, then, you know, he can be held to it. And so I know he's cautious to do this. So, will he state, if the final experiment contradicts flat Earth, that he will reject flat Earth and accept that it's a globe? And of course, contradicts flat Earth and matches the globe. I'll give him that. Will he accept that the Earth is a globe? He should. I will accept the opposite. If it contradicts a globe and confirms flat Earth, I'm a flat earther. Yeah, I'm in. I'm 100% committed to that. You know, I would love to see him be that bold. And I would love to see, if Austin went, for him to be that bold as well. Jaron has been trying and inviting other flat earthers to come and present how they think a 24-hour circling sun could work in Antarctica. And none have been able to do it. So, Jiffy Jiffwald is a petition to permaban what from this chat? No, I don't think so. But tell ya what, if you want right now, I'll send you a Zoom link and you can come on and you can present all of your super woke flat earth evidence. You let me know. My email address is mctoon@mctoon.net. Oh, okay. All right. I pulled up my email and there's some emails there. So anyway, what? mctoon@mctoon.net. If you want to debate, if you want to wait and set it up for next week, let's do it. I don't know. Is what? Have I debated you before? I have debated What's Up, but he's in Europe, and I think the time zone does not match where you would have to be. So, anyway, yeah, send me an email, and if you got what it takes. I'll go to the 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. Oh, that's precious. That's precious. I've been there. I've already been there. It's a mute fest. Yeah. That is the second to last place where you can experience a fair debate. The last place for a fair debate would be Nathan Oakley. The second to last place for a fair debate would be on the Flat Earth 24/7 Discord server. But what if you're interested in having a debate? I would love to do it. I would do it on a Flat Earth's channel. I would do it on Jaron's channel. He could host us, right? I would do it on Modern Day Debate. But the fact that you want to do it on the Flat Earth 24/7 Discord server tells me that you do not want a fair debate because they don't allow them there. Yeah, go to your echo chamber for a debate. Yeah, I mean, if you want a Flat Earth channel to host the debate, let me know. I'll consider it. But the Flat Earth 24/7 Discord server is not a place that allows debates. They don't. I've been there. They don't. So he pulled out the Coward's Defense #2. Well, yeah, let's have a look. So if you Google MC Toon Coward debate, let's see, Coward live debate defense. There it is. I have a list of them here. Saying there is no debate is a coward's response to a challenge to debate. The reason why is because if it's so completely and totally untouchable that you don't even need to debate, it's not a defense. Did you provide an exhaustive refutation already? No, then you have nothing. If there truly was no debate, the debate would be quick. The coward would present the mountains of supporting evidence and it would be over. But since you didn't do that, right? And I mean, I know you can't, because you can't post links in the chat here, but it would be quick, wouldn't it? You would just post it. You would post measurements, you would post photographs, you would post explanations for with numbers for what is the cause of the heat and light from the sun. You would have a prediction for the flat Earth using flat Earth geometry of the sunset and sunrise times. You don't have any of them. So anyway, somebody, yeah, I love these. Somebody else already destroyed you. Well, if that's the case, then it should be easy for you to do the same, wouldn't it? I added one today. A sudden disinterest in debating. This was on Twitter, on X. Somebody was demanding somebody else debate. So I'm like, hey, I'll do it. How about you do it? And I posted this list. Which will you choose? And this loser's answer was like, I can't be bothered. Wait a second. You were just demanding that this other person debate. And now you're suddenly disinterested in debating? He said, I quoted, "It's not worth my time." Really? Really? You were just demanding a debate of somebody else. But when I show up, you chicken out. All right, I got it. Thank you for admitting that you're scared to debate me. All right. We've got Isider74 says he's used an ad as proof of an artificial sun. Yes. Yeah. Banjo is just so dumb. Denthead said, just a super chat to say hi, MC2, and love your stuff. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Denthead. I appreciate that. First time super chatting as well. Great to have you here. Josh Garver for $50. Dude, Josh, you're so nice. Thank you so much. Says, have you encountered any flat earther that understands mathematics? Two that I can recall. Uh-oh. Balloons just went by. What? All right. I got something. But, man, that is so... you can hear me now, right? Just let me know. Let's see. Noise suppression. Yeah, okay. It's worse. What's worse? That's worse, says Kango44. So, all right. I added the noise suppression, and I know somebody earlier said take off the noise suppression. I've got a fan running down here right now, so, and there's some noise that goes in the background. I don't know. I don't think that's what's causing issues. So, all right. I'm sorry. I don't know why. So here's what happened. The balloons that went up, for some reason, when that happens, I have to restart OBS to get it to come, the video to come back. So when I stopped and started, that's where the everything dropped out. Then when I came back, the audio wasn't there, and OBS did not see my microphone. This is my microphone. It's a USB microphone. It doesn't matter. It's got to come through some interface. It didn't see it. It also didn't see, I have a camera right here. That camera has a microphone. It did not see that camera's microphone. But what did I do? I went into my sound settings in the operating system and switched it to the microphone, and then it sees it. I don't know why. This is time to switch to Linux. I don't know. Ion says I posted an image of the menu in which it's supposedly possible to disable the balloons. Okay, I'll have to look. Later. How often do I talk to myself when troubleshooting? Says Andrea Huddle. I don't normally talk to myself while troubleshooting, but I was talking while troubleshooting so that I could see my audio meters working, and so that you could see that I was talking through it. But of course, I posted in the chat that I was doing. I love Linux. I do. But there's a whole lot of things that I could not do on Linux. And I'm going to use a Mac for my main operating system. For many reasons. But Linux is free if your time is worth nothing. And I've for 5 years had very little issues with it, and so it's just this recent is an operating system update. I have to I don't know. I'm running Sonoma 14.5, so it's I don't know. But yeah, loopback, when I upgraded the operating system, loopback stopped working, and it's mostly in loopback. So anyway, okay. Josh Carver says, have you ever encountered a native flat earther that understands mathematics? I said there's two. So number one, I've talked about him before, is the guy that called himself the Mind of God, or just Mind of God, Shiraj Patel. And he was, to the best of my knowledge, I do tend to think he was, a master's degree in electrical engineering. The little bit I did talk to him about math, he did seem to understand. But his position was that the earth, he thinks, is flat because the Bible said so, he thought. But that the earth presents itself as a sphere because God is deceiving us. That was his position, which doesn't sound any sensible. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. Time of the Cat says Windows on one drive, Linux on another, covers all my needs, coding, gaming, audio production, etc. I've thought about doing a dual thing where I do like the live streaming on one operating system, one physical machine, or on a VM. That gets more wanky. And then another on for my Mac for the other stuff. I don't want to do that. Okay. Anyway, so that's number one. He's left. He's gone. This Mind of God guy. He's completely gone. He could do math a little bit. The other one is Patrick Gunnels. He could do a little bit of math, but he couldn't understand how to solve a triangle. Like he did a little bit like kind of basic math, like live on the show with me, but he couldn't handle any more complicated stuff. That's it though. Other than that, no, flat earthers can't do middle school geometry. They can't. The sun could never set. That's it. They're like, but here's a picture of the road with the lights, the street lights, and they go down. Yes, they do. How high is the street light? 20 feet up. Did what street light got half obstructed by the road? None. Oh, of course the road isn't flat. They don't have measurements of the road being flat. It would have to be like more flat than the earth needs to be, proportionally flat to how flat the earth is, they think, in relation to how high those streetlights are above the road. None of that. Of course, yes, perspective demands that it goes down as it goes farther away. How much down? We can calculate that. If the sun is 3,000 miles up, I can tell you for any position on the earth how high it needs to be for any time of the year, any date of the year, according to flat earth, but flat earthers can't do it. Patrick Gunnels tutors mathematics? No, he couldn't be that. He couldn't be that. No, not a chance. So anyway, those two are, that's all I know. An honorable mention would be Jaron, because he knew that 8 inches per mile squared was the right formula to use on his interesting experiment. He did not use it correctly. Number one. Number two, again, he ignored refraction. Flat earthers love to pretend that refraction doesn't exist when they're testing the globe. But when asking, well, how does that work for flat earth? Like, refraction causes that to happen. Okay, well, go over it. Give me the numbers. Refraction causes it to happen. How? Refraction causes it to happen. But refraction causes things to appear slightly higher, not lower. Well, refraction causes it to happen. They have no damn idea. Have I tried dual wielding Windows and Linux? I don't do Windows. Gross. Jiffy Jiffwald says, ask what about the size and distance of the sun for me, please. Logan Flay for $20. Thank you very much, Logan. Says, ask what kind of crack are flat earthers on. I would say it's more huffing aerosols is really probably what it is, because that can cause Dane Bramage. Crack I think has a little different kind of effect than the huffing aerosols that so. Toads in my eyes says, I thought Iggy was very expert at math. I just rewatched your conversation a couple weeks ago. Oh my goodness, Iggy. He was so confident in his wrongness about math. It baffles the mind that he was so confident. All right. Wait a second. Eric Mose. Okay, try to set this down over here. Eric Mozico says, God's deceit. That guy's mom told him when the icebreaker van plays a tune, he's run out of stock as well. Yep. All right. Tommy the Cat says, I'll probably always keep Windows though. 1 for work, tons of Microsoft based stuff. And 2, I already own so many Windows based audio plugins for my music production and just so much software for Win. Yeah, for my work, we write code on our desktop and then it all runs on Linux, so it's Java. So I could use any operating system to do my coding, and our whole team uses Macs. But we have had, it was a while ago, we had one guy for a while that used Windows, and he eventually, he's like, oh, enough of this. He switched. So, Earthly Skeptic, would an online calculus course for flat earthers be a hit? No. They couldn't get it. They couldn't understand it. They can't solve a triangle. Right? If you ask them, what's the area of a triangle? They won't be able to do it. Calculus is what's the area of a trapezoid underneath this curve, right? They wouldn't even understand that concept. So, all right. Well, yeah. I don't think it's crack, Logan Flay. I think here's what it really is. They're just dumb. Somehow they got to that position in life where they came into this world not smart, or they somehow through, being lazy, chose to be not smart. And now here they are reaching adulthood and they're not smart. And as a result of it, whether it's intentional or whether it's just how they are, they suck. It affects their whole life, right? The not smart people who aren't, in the special classes where they're mostly told, hey, they mostly know that they're not smart. They're in the regular group of students, but they're at the bottom end, right? And a lot of them grew up in the trophies for everyone era, so they don't know that they're not smart. Right? Lindsay Harris, well, he's not a trophies for everyone era person, but Lindsay Harris is dumb. So is Flat Earth Banjo. They're so dumb. They don't know that they're dumb. It's Dunning-Kruger. It's, all these things. And they get to some portion of their life and they suck at everything they do. And, right? They're no good at the thinking stuff. Then they're like, oh, I discovered the secret knowledge. That's what happens. Right? Now, it's not that they're dumb. Everybody else was lying to them. And they were actually smart the whole time. That's what they think, right? Burkle 677 says, to be fair, even those in special ed know the earth is not flat. Yes. Because part of it is that they're, if they're in special ed, they should come out of that knowing, hopefully, people, you're in this class for a reason. So, be aware. Hopefully, be aware that you're going to have to do things a little differently. You're not going to, stuff isn't going to come the same. I don't know. And Aldebaran says it's a good point. It says you can teach someone with a learning disability. You can't teach stubborn, stupid people. Yeah, that's another aspect, another part to the Venn diagram, right? Stupid, stubborn, and refuse to learn, right? That chops off into, because there's stupid people that don't think the earth is flat, right? 4 billion people on the earth are less than average intelligence. Think about that. That means that 800 million people are in the bottom 10%. That means that 80 million people are in the bottom 1%. That's the flat earth target market. The bottom 80 million people on the earth. Seriously. There's 80 million potential flat earthers. Yep. The dumbest 1% are potential. So, all right. Jiffy Jiffwald. I'm not going to permaban what. I would just want him to sack up. Jiffy Jiffwald says, hey, what in your honor? I bring gifties to tune. And then he gifts 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Jiffy Jiffwald. Again, Jiffy comes in and says, brave sir what ran away? He bravely ran away. Yep, that it's more and more common. Flatties are running off. In fact, I'm editing a video, hopefully it'll come out tomorrow, of a guy who was on Facebook demanding that Simon Dan debate. So I saw that and I'm like, well, if you want to debate, I'll debate you. Nope, he won't. But so I have a video, but I'm going through it because I don't want YouTube to flag it. I'm, putting a noise over every time he swears, and the guy is a prolific swearer. Josh Garver says, I asked he asked about mathematicians or mathematics. He says, I asked because I am a mathematician and have not seen one that understands the subject yet, trying to get caught up. Yeah, it's a great question, Josh. It's one of the several prerequisites to being a flat earther. They cannot think in 3 dimensions. They cannot handle math. If you draw an orthogonal diagram, they're like, we don't see it in that. That's the God view. We don't see in that. I'm like, we're not claiming that you see in that, but this is a way to visualize how it looks so that you can draw the triangle that you're solving. If you want to see the triangle, I can do it without drawing it, right? I can look in the perspective view, which is, straight on, right? So if you, the camera, right, here's King Crew's book. So here it is. You can see how high it is here. And if you knew how far away it was from the camera, and if you could measure angles, then you could know how tall it was. Or, if you know a couple of the pieces of information, you can solve the other pieces of information because you can make a triangle with it, right? Now move it farther away, its angular size gets smaller because it moved farther away by a significant portion of that distance. They don't get that even. Think about this, Josh. The moon at middle of its path across the sky for flat Earth is its closest. That's the closest it'll be to that person in that evening, right? And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours later, right? It's setting. It's far away. It's 2 to 3 times farther away. So it should have shrunk in angular size. This is perspective. This is simple perspective. Something covered in middle school, right? In middle school, you might not, pull out sine cosine to solve the triangle. But you might draw a triangle and use an angleometer or protractor for the rest of us to measure the angle. They can't get that. Think about that. They can't get that simple thing that the moon must change in angular size. So as a mathematician, Josh, does that bother you? It bothers me. They went through schooling, finished schooling without understanding it. Okay. Without understanding that they don't understand it. Not okay. It's, a teacher doesn't want to fail somebody because then they get them again next year. People generally don't fail. They should. All right. So anyway, Arnold says, haha, Globers can't tech. Yeah, it did. It went wacky on me. Earthly Skeptic says, what math did those 2 flat earthers know? Yeah, it wasn't much. Patrick Gunnels did a little bit. If I remember, I think he squared something. We were talking about 8 inches per mile squared. And he was able to, on the fly, work that out a little bit. As to Mind of God, he understood some angles. He went on and on. Oh no. What in the world? It died again. Now, oh my gosh. All right, now the audio's back. I have three copies of my audio now. For some reason, yeah, and I muted them all but one. Jeez. That balloon thing, that's nuts. That is crazy. It happened twice. I got to look into that for OBS. I don't know if it's OBS. I use an Elgato 4K cam thing. Man. All right. Yeah, it's haunted tonight. And yeah, all right. Let me. Crazy. It's just I don't get why it's like that. All right, let me. The balloon thing. That was too much. Why did the balloon thing happen? I have no idea. It was really weird. Okay, hold on. Okay, I switched it to a different one. All right, it should sound better. I don't know if it does or not. We'll see. Let me know. Is this sounding good now? Is it in Zoom? No, I'm not using Zoom. Not running Zoom at all today. This is just OBS and Loopback. That's what I'm using. That's it on the Mac. So yeah, the Satelloons killed it again. Okay. All right. Kango44 says Linux is free if your time is worth nothing. Earthly Skeptic says, I can see light travels faster than sound. Yes, it does. What was that about? Oh, that was, I don't know what that was about. Was that about it dying again? I don't know how many times it's going to die. Ezra the Music Guy says, balloon screen of death. It happened twice now. Okay, I have a second Elgato 4K cam that just came. I don't know if that's what's causing it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap to see if the other one works better. We'll see. Kango44 says, did you say Java and software in the same sentence? Isn't that an oxymoron? No. What are you talking about? What do you got against Java? Don't do UI with Java. That's very old school. They don't do that much anymore, but yeah. It's very successful. It does great multi-threading. Super great multi-threading. I love it. Python. No good at multi-threading. It only does green threads. iCider74 says half of them can't understand 2D. Yeah, flat earthers can't understand 2D. Nope. Earthly Skeptic says they're challenged at three things. 3D math, and not being able to analyze two conflicting effects. Hence the confusion with atmospheric pressure, etc. Yeah, they really suck at understanding that multiple forces can act on an object simultaneously. They'll see that you can levitate something using sound and then think that somehow they've made a point about gravity. They haven't. All that you've done is show that multiple forces can act on an object simultaneously. They'll say magnetism. Look, this is hovering because of magnetism. Therefore, it says something about gravity. It does not. All you've done is show that multiple forces. They talk about terminal velocity. A skydiver hits terminal velocity. Right? They don't. Right. That means that they don't accelerate anymore. That's because the upward force due to friction is equal to the downward force due to gravity. They're in equilibrium, and so you don't accelerate anymore. Those two forces are in balance with each other. They don't get that. If you don't get these topics, then you aren't smart enough to participate in the conversation. You know, or you do participate and we'll just laugh at you because you're dumb. Right? Ridicule is it's what you're going to get. Janusz Takas says, Witsit must be smart. He could have had a 6-figure job if he wasn't a flerf, unless he means by 6 figures a rock, a bishop, a knight, and 3 pawns per month. Well, 6 figures a year, $7,000.00 is 6 figures. right? There's no chance that Whitsitt was going to get a 6-figure a year job. And this, I don't know what it was that he was talking about. No idea. So I'm making some generalizations here, kind of jumping to a few things. But his claim about that is nuts, right? We know that. But was it, I suspect, something like a sales job where they're like, you could make this? Or was it one of those work at home jobs and you can earn this much, right? What was it? My guess is it wasn't an actual job offer. No. And how recently was it? He's been saying it for 5 years, maybe? I'm just guessing. So it was certainly not super recent, but yeah, he I don't know. Whitsitt, what was it? Who was it? Was it really an offer? Come clean on it. Give the details, please. Steaming hot take. First super chat says, does anyone really expect the experiment to be final? MC Toon, what do you think the best and worst outcomes of this could be? I did, you know what? I got into answering that earlier in this, and I didn't answer. I didn't complete the train of thought, so I will. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not look at the chat so I don't get distracted from it. Here's what I think. I think that the existing flat earthers, for the most part, won't be convinced. They have a religious belief about flat earth. They do not hold this position because of measurements of flatness. They hold the position because they don't understand physics, and their non-understanding of physics makes them not able to predict what the globe will actually do. And so they do the standard flat earth argument. The most common one is they say globe predicts, thing the globe does not predict. This observation doesn't match thing globe does not predict, therefore flat earth. If instead they said globe predicts, thing globe actually predicts, and then looking at observation, they'll find it does match. When we go through that process with the flat earther now, they always reject the evidence. But if they weren't already a flat earther, they wouldn't be so prone to reject that evidence. So here's what I think the final experiment will do. The final experiment will show that there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. It's already shown, but that it was done by flat earthers or done by other people specifically to test the claim that flat earthers make about it. And their claim is just, it goes back to the 1800s where Rowbottom and more specifically Gleason claimed that the sun has never even shone south of 80 degrees south, right? Instead of up for 24 hours a day for 6 months at the pole, he says it's not even there. So when you look at the dirt pizza, yeah, it would not make sense for the sun to do circles above your head. So they have to deny that. So when somebody else is presented the idea of flat earth, then you can come along and you can say, before they're indoctrinated into the cult, you can say, well, the sun doesn't do what flat earth must do in Antarctica. And so this is before they will accept any old garbage that supports flat earth. They're not in it yet. They're not in the cult yet. They're not indoctrinated into it yet. So they'll look at that and they'll say, oh, well, the sun does exactly what the globe predicts. It's up for 24 hours a day and it does circles and it goes south of you when, according to the flat earth map, it's north of you. That doesn't work. So it will greatly hinder their flat earth religion evangelism. That's what I think it will do. It will cut off a huge swath of people that might otherwise fall for it. So it will lower the bar from the target market for flat earth being the dumbest 80 million people to being maybe the dumbest 0.1 0.001% of humans, right? It'll be the dumbest 80,000 humans on the earth, right? That'll be the target market, because some slice of that will say, oh, no, that doesn't make sense, because the sun, as shown here by flat earthers, does circles overhead, doesn't work for flat earth. I'm not entertaining this idiocy. So I think that's what'll really happen. Of course, there will still be dumb enough people to buy it, and the existing ones won't go away, right? They're in the cult. They don't care, right? So there's the answer. Steaming hot take. Thank you for the question. iSolder74 says, what's my vector, Victor? Funny, I got this book. I'm going to show you this. I got this book today. It came today, right? And my daughter's sitting there. She's like, is this for me for school? No, this is college level, and she's not in college. I go, I bet the first chapter's on vectors. So I open it up. This is electromagnetic fields. Preface, contents. I just open up. I'll show you. Right up to, oh, we gotta go past the introduction. There, right there. Hey, look at that. The first chapter's on vectors. I go, I bet the second chapter's on Coulomb's law. All right, let's. Cool. All right, there it is. I bet the second chapter is, I said electrostatics and Coulomb's law. There it is, Coulomb's law. It's the same process that you're gonna study. You don't get into time varying electrical fields until you've already studied non-time varying electrical fields. So anyway, so yes, what's my vector, Victor? Your vector is the first chapter of an electromagnetism book. Logan Fly says, send out a shout to Simon Dan Creaky, Sursic, and as well as Smoosh and Weird Al. Also, Below Zero Wrestling. Thank you, my friend. Below Zero Wrestling? I don't know what that is. Or Smoosh? I know Weird Al, of course. Weird Al rocks. My daughter just played UHF the other day. Taught her well. My son... Okay, this is funny. But my son is in his 20s now. When he was young, I gave him an MP3 player and I loaded music on it. And I loaded up a whole bunch of Weird Al. Like any good dad would do. And he hadn't heard the non-Weird Al versions of all of these songs. He'd only heard the Weird Al versions of these songs. So then he's older. He's hanging out with friends. And he's singing the lyrics to these songs. But he only knows the Weird Al version. And he's like, Dad, that's the wrong lyrics. He's like, oh. And I'm like, dude, no, what you do? You just gotta say, no, I prefer... You joke. You say, I prefer the original Weird Al version better. He's like, I know. I did say that. But I still knew the wrong lyrics. Oh my gosh. All right. All right. Beast Militia says, have you noticed that they think they have a good grasp on the concept of something but cannot? But as soon as they have to formalize their concept with concrete parameters, they fall to pieces. 100%. They can't do anything concrete, right? All they have is vague stuff. How does the sun set? Vague, 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 vague. Give me the actual science and physics and optics. Can't. BTF Wayne says, you're really expecting people that are afraid of geometry to touch a college math book? No. I mean, well, Earthly Skeptic was asking. Was it Earthly Skeptic? No, I don't for 1 second think that they'll do that. I don't think if you gave them, access to, they already have it, right? If you want to learn how to solve a triangle, there's no shortage of videos on YouTube to do it, to walk you through it one step at a time. If you want to solve a triangle using a slide rule, there's dozens of videos teaching you how to use a slide rule. If you want to do it using a calculator, there's dozens of videos showing you how to do it using a calculator, right? Like this, or a basic calculator, or the calculator on your phone. It's free, and they won't do it. They can't do it. Eric E., Master of Flat Earth Theory, says after 3 years of talking about sextants and celestial navigation, they still have never solved any problems. No. They don't even understand enough to know that it's possible to measure an angle from a curve. It is a fundamental part of a huge portion of flat earthers' belief. Their religion is claiming that you can't measure an angle from a curve. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, I need to know who Smoosh is, Logan Flay. Who's Smoosh? Is Smoosh on YouTube? People are telling me right now. Smoosh. 26 million subscribers. All right. All right. Certainly. Two boys making videos. Okay. They're a big name. I am on a Mac, Liz K. I am on a Mac. Okay. I have this debate tomorrow. I'll probably do another one late night Thursday. But yeah, I'll live stream on my channel. Hopefully my OBS won't misbehave. NK Universe, there was a flat earther who put a ball in the ground and said, if the earth is round, why isn't it moving? They don't understand motion. Seriously, it's chapter 1 of a physics book, of a physics course, of a middle school physics course. You don't get that. Logan Flay says, Smoosh, my friend. Or Smoosh is your friend? I don't know. But yes, thank you. Brandon Chris says, it's getting late, Tune. Time to go. You're right. I do need to get going. I have the video tomorrow. It'll be here. I'll be putting up shortly. Hopefully it happens. If Modern Day Debate flakes out, maybe we can have it be somewhere else. So it's with Marcus Allen, who's a decent guy. He's a proper English gentleman. So hopefully it will all be good. But anyway, people, thank you very much. Thank you to Logan Flay, and especially to Josh. Josh Garver for the very generous super chats, but also Jiffy Jiffwald, Dave Kircher. Speaking of Portal. We were talking about Portal earlier. Dave Kircher comes in and says, thank Titicaca, it's Tuesday. Sorry I'm late. Can you start over? You're going to have to restart your stream, but I did talk about you. So anyway, people, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This has been a great evening. I hope you enjoyed reviewing a little bit of the craziness of flat earthers freaking out over the final experiment. And we'll see you tomorrow. Here we go.
MC Tune, drop that beat.
All right. Let it flow. Let yourself go. So I know that is the tempo.
So, yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this. Yo, it's MC Toon, the debunking tycoon. I shatter flat earthers, make them face the moon. Your attempts are decent, but they'll swoon in the face of my logic like a deflated balloon.
Oh, MC Toon, the one to soon cartoons. I'm the real sage, sending Flerfs to their views. Your theories are like old brews, sweeping ignorance or just spreading the views.
FE stands for fumbling the facts, evidently. I drop truth bombs so splendidly. Your approach is soft, mine's unrelenting. I bring the science while you're just venting.
Don't be tuned with the with silver spoons. I got some pseudoscience, make them change their tune. You're the sidekick, I'm the room. When it comes to
iSolder74 says, for $5, they can't even figure out you can measure angles without touching both items. Yeah, they're not bright enough. In the rizzle dizzle. But hey, FTFE, we share the creed to educate and debug the plant the seed. Though in this rap, it's clear indeed I've got the upper hand in word and deed. Alright, hold on a second. The Zoom call died. Everything died! No!